Welcome to a live episode of Reading Reddit. Actually, tonight is the inaugural episode, and my name is Keri Smith. You are watching Deprogrammed with Keri Smith. This is a show I've been wanting to try for a while, and this is an impromptu night to do it. We just decided, I think I announced it an hour ago, so if you're watching this later, don't worry that you missed it. We just decided to do it, and this is, like I said, the first one that we're doing. And I have with me one of my best friends in the world, Mr. Mike Harlow. How are you, Mikey?
Aw, you're one of my best friends in the world.
I'm going to move you over to this side. Then it looks like
Ooh.
we're looking more at each other,
Ooh, I
right?
like it.
Yes, I like it too. Why don't you, while I get some of this queued up, why don't you just tell anybody who may not know who you are, where they can find you, a little bit about yourself?
Hey, y'all. I'm Mike. I feel like our peeps know each other by this
Yes.
point, but I'm on the Twitter at not Mike Harlow. I'm like Keri, a former Democrat, former leftist. I don't know what you'd consider me now, but definitely not that. Yeah, I recently moved from New York to the free state of Florida. Could not be happier. And yeah, I'm happy to be here, my love.
I love hanging out with you, and it's been too long. So we also, I'm going to come over to your channel, not my Carlo, and on Thursday.
Yes, I'm so
We're gonna
excited.
be there. We're gonna have fun there too. But for any of the regular deprogrammed fellowship community, greetings, nerds, says Daniel Delafay. Greetings, nerds. We're doing this. It's sort of impromptu because I didn't get to do my show yesterday. My husband and I have a lot of renovation work going on. It's just incredibly loud here during the day. And also tomorrow night, there's not going to be, we do that Christian panel every other Wednesday night. We're not doing it tomorrow night. I'll also make an announcement on the community page. We're not doing it because it's my wedding anniversary. And so my husband has a surprise planned. He better be taking me to the Cracker Barrel.
You are a simple lady to please.
We better be going to the barrel. I don't know where
The
we're going,
barrel.
but I'm excited. So
I can't believe it's your anniversary already. I feel
I
like I was
know
just there. What was it, 2 years ago now?
3 years ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Time
3 years.
fly. Damn.
Time flies, and you would not recognize the house now because now, today, we have a crew, like a professional crew doing the exterior of the house because we can't. That's beyond what we can learn on YouTube. And they tore down in 2 days. All of the porch is gone. The upstairs balcony is gone. All the columns are gone. Everything's gone.
The wraparound porch?
Yes. I mean, they're rebuilding it,
Oh,
but they had
nice.
to tear down all of the rotted wood because this house is so old. And you saw the state of it when we bought it. It was,
It was amazing though.
yeah.
You guys, she had the most beautiful wedding.
Aw.
Like in
I
front of their
loved it.
house that they bought. Oh my God, it was
It was
amazing.
I loved it was yes. So tomorrow, anyway, there's no Christian panel. So we decided tonight, let's do the show.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's
Thank
funny, some people on Twitter were mentioning different like Reddit communities and stuff that are apparently
Oh,
real nuts.
okay. It's not before we get into it, let me just say thank you to Broken Umbrella, who's been a member for 5 months. Thank you, thank you. Says, "Oh no, what are we about to experience tonight?"
I'm nervous.
Well, here's what it is. I I watch a lot of true crime. Some of my rabbit holes that I go down, watch a lot of true crime. And lately, probably the past 6 months or longer, I read a lot of Reddit, and I read a lot of really just dark, depressing stuff. However, I think I find it fascinating for the same reason I find true crime fascinating, because I'm trying to understand how people can live in such misery, and I used to as well, live in such misery and have so many problems and not find a way out of them. I think as a Christian, the way out is Jesus. So I don't comment on these posts, because if I did, all of my advice, like on the relationship advice forum, all of my stuff would be like, "You need Jesus." That's all I would say.
They do.
So I would get banned immediately. So, but I figured they don't let you. Reddit is very censorious. I don't know if have you spent time there before?
I got banned.
Of course.
I got banned for the weirdest thing. So like this is maybe a year or two ago. There was some like anonymous person on Twitter who kept sending me like revenge porn of different people I know, like
Okay,
different gay
that's creepy.
conservatives, and was posting it all over Reddit and sending me the links. So I made such a thing that I got it taken down everywhere for them, and then I got banned the next day.
So they are so censorious. They have double standards. They have all these different words or things you can't say or things you can't tell. Basically, if you are not woke, you will get banned. And so in a lot of the forums, like relationship advice and things like that, people are presumably looking for advice, but if you offer real advice, you're out of there. So I figured we're
Can I
gonna
tell
do
you what put me off from looking at Reddit the last time I ever looked at Reddit?
what?
There was a post about me on there from this guy that I went on maybe like 2 dates with, probably about 10 years ago. Hold on, bitch. I'm telling a very funny story.
I'm just coming in to say hello.
He wanted to say hi to you, though.
Hey, Greg,
Keri.
how are
How are
you? I'm good. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
You failed at trying to scare me, by the way.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
I
Didn't know what
love,
you're talking about.
I love Greg, and I love his new X account where he just tries to scare you and takes video of it.
Keri says she loves you, and she loves your Twitter account scaring me.
It's so
I love
silly.
you too. Not Tiger though.
Fright Mike.
You're so terrible to Tiger.
He hates
Jenny,
Tiger.
you gonna come say hi? No, she's camera shy, but love you, dude.
All right, bye. Hey, you forgot this.
You forgot this. The backstory, by the way, though, is my bestie who helped me move to Florida and like is letting me live with them while I like get settled and stuff. Keri introduced us, so thank you for everything, Keri.
Aw.
Well, we were just gonna say though, get this shit. So I went on like 2 dates with this guy. Had to have been like a decade ago because I remember distinctly we went to go see the Yogi Bear movie. And there was a thread on Reddit about how she went on a date with infamous fascist Mike Harlow, and he's now a trans. And when I say trans, it is. He was cute when he was a guy. Now he looks like something that got tied to a car and dragged around for miles. Oh my god, it is bad. And he sells like trans clothing and stuff. Like,
but he called you a fascist. How funny! How quaint. Well, so I called it Reading Reddit because, and we have a theme song coming. My husband's going to help with the theme song because of Reading Rainbow, but also because now many of the older people or church people may not know, but reading is a colloquialism. It just means like you read somebody, you tell them what's up, like you put them in their place, like reading them the right act or reading them their rights or something. It's like you're basically diagnosing them, or you're judging, or you're giving advice. So this is Reading Reddit, and we're gonna go through and give unsolicited advice and commentary. And yes, we are going to be making moral judgments. I want you to feel free to be yourself. You and I are going to disagree, obviously. I surprised Mike with this topic. We're going to disagree on some things. That's fine. Be honest. And we're going to be making moral judgments. And if you feel
that's what I'm like best at. If
you feel convicted, maybe you should. I feel convicted with some of my judgments. My former self definitely feels convicted. And a lot of my opinions come from, as I'm sure everyone's do, where you're at in life, what you've learned from your failures and from your bad decisions, and from, in my case,
learn from those.
Maybe some of us, Mikey, are still learning. I'm kidding. I'm still learning too. We're supposed to learn from those. Yes. You're learning. I know you're learning. We talk. Okay.
I'm excited though. I am so good at judgment. I am great at judging people. I am a judgmental little bitch. Scorn, judgment, and ridicule. Though that is like my personal holy trinity.
Well, let's get started. Now we're going to offer real unfiltered advice, the kind of advice you can't actually offer on Reddit. And we're going to take a peek into just how depraved modern society is. by looking at the bowels of society, which is Reddit. So let's get started. Here's the first one. I'm going to read this to you. We can pause you and you can offer commentary. Now everybody puts their age and sex on these, by the way. Meaning he's 40 years old, he's a male. My wife, who's 39 and female, wants me to sleep with another woman, and I really don't want to. What should I do?
What?
This is
Oh, I love that we're doing the relationship advice. I was going to say that's what we should do.
What should I do? Okay, here we go. Now, not safe for work, it says, so there's going to be some TMI in here. Just no, this is not a show for little ears. Little ears should not be in the room.
Big growing chia pet ears here.
Okay, I have the most amazing marriage. When we met at 18, I got married a couple years. We met at 18. I got married a couple years later. We have a wonderful large family. We don't argue. We communicate really well, and we've grown up together as best friends. Sex has always been amazing for both of us. We're open with our likes and dislikes and talk comfortably when we want to try new things or if something is off the table. But that's recently changed. During sex, we have role playing and dirty talk. The theme changes each time, but in the past month, my wife only wants to fantasize about threesomes and swinging. She often talks dirty about having sex next to another couple or in public. She likes to pretend we have another woman with us or another man. I'm really not comfortable with it, and it's a red line. Maybe I'm sad, but sex for me is about love, and I have zero interest in sleeping with someone else or having someone sleep with my wife. I told my wife this, but she won't stop with the fantasies. Last night during sex, she whispered in my ear she wants me to sleep with someone when I go away for work and that we would definitely have a threesome one day. She talked about wanting to watch me, gross. It's something really gross with another woman. And then after sex, she told me she bought a new toy. It's getting more and more gross. Okay. I mean, I say like just oversharing of sexual personal stuff.
Keri is too pure
I
for this.
worry that she's doing this because she wants to sleep with another man and she thinks that she can do it if she lets me have sex with another woman.
Oh, she said she wants to practice being spit roasted. What a whore.
Yeah, there's gross stuff. Yeah, she wants to practice being spit roasted, which means two guys, right? He says, or that she has a new sexual desire but isn't respectful of my red lines. We both hate cheaters. And I've never worried about that for a moment. But to be honest, this makes me think she's already cheated and wants to make herself feel better. Or maybe I'm being paranoid. What's the best way to approach this? Okay. First thoughts.
You're sick, you're nasty, and you need Jesus.
You need Jesus. First of all, yes. Yes, you do. That would be my whole comment, but I'll add to it. Your marriage is in serious, serious trouble. Serious trouble. Because there are so many boundaries that have already been crossed and things that our culture tells us are okay. And it's not going to endanger your marriage to do these things like fantasies about other people, and encouraging that. This is my opinion. And you've already opened that door. And now your wife is taking it more and more into trying to make it a reality. And yes, I think she's probably already cheated on you. I think his gut is right.
Oh, the poor lady behind you, the Virgin Mary, having to hear such horrors.
I'm sorry. This is a little more TMI than I usually talk about.
No, that's what I'm here for. It's perfect. So first of all, what would I'm trying to think what the best outcome for him would be, and because that sucks. You're 40 years old to first be getting divorced because that's like probably where this is headed. That sucks. So
you've already spent all those years together.
I know. But I think most importantly, even if this were something more tame, do not open a can of worms that cannot be closed in a relationship, I think.
You can't go back from,
no.
Some rare people, maybe rare people can, but it's going to end in destruction. Like I keep seeing these people on, especially tech bros on Twitter who are pushing polyamory and trying to make people who think it's immoral and a bad idea, trying to paint us as rubes or like prudes or something. And they're sort of talking about how it can be done ethically and all this. And it's like, whenever I hear like something sort of like, well, true polyamory hasn't been tried yet. I'm like, it's like, Right? It's like true socialism hasn't been
Yeah.
tried. I could be the one that gets it right. I could make it work. That's what I hear. Is that they elevate themselves like they're going to reinvent the wheel. Like this hasn't been tried by the right person before. They're going to make it work.
Well, you said something about cheating. Like they would have some, or his wife in particular would have some line about, oh, it's not cheating because bullshit. This is such a crock of shit. And I think who knows what extracurricular activities she's doing on the side, because this is something I've noticed just in the entire time that I've been dating. Things now are so much more bleak just in general in the culture than it was when I first started dating, that if you go on Tinder or any like dating apps or whatever, it seems everyone is into some sick shit.
Sick
and
stuff.
I don't remember it being like that. I don't remember it being that widespread. And I think that's because when people are just constantly, porn is one side of it, hooking up is another side of it, they keep having to find the next thing, and it keeps having to get sicker.
That's exactly what. Okay, so if you in the relationship advice forum, there are so many posts, and we can look at some more of them, but there's so many posts of women who are coming in saying, "Hey, my husband and I no longer have sex. It's been 9 months or it's been a year or whatever, but he watches porn all the time, and so I don't
Ugh.
understand why he has a sexual appetite for porn, but not for me." And then they always, a lot of the times, because of the messed up culture we're in, they always make sure to qualify it so everybody knows they're still cool and woke. And they're like, I mean, I know porn itself isn't bad, and I know that some people can but I'm just kind of wondering maybe if he might have a porn problem, but I'm not judging anybody who watches porn. Like they're so careful. And then there's tons of these, and it's like, girl, he has a porn addiction, and yes, it causes erectile dysfunction, and yes, it causes people to, like you're saying, Mike, search out more and more taboo hardcore stuff. They escalate not only in terms of how much they use, but what kinds of stuff they have to watch in order to not have ED, and they keep escalating into more and more taboo things. And so there's a whole forum now that I just found on there called Love After Porn. And it's full. It's mostly women. There are some men, but it's mostly women whose husbands have an addiction. And these are women who are willing to admit their husbands have an addiction. And in that forum, there are all kinds of rules about how you can, just like on the rest of Reddit. Now, these women, you would think in this forum, these are women who are there saying they're willing to admit, even in this culture, which doesn't look at porn as a problem, they're willing to say, hey, it's become a problem in my relationship. And even in that forum, I've seen people get comments deleted and stuff if they respond with any, like, you can't use certain words, you can't judge, you can't. It's like, but they admit it's a problem, and you still can't judge.
And Loomis in the chat made a good point. He goes, isn't that the argument against marijuana? Well, this is why, for me personally, I don't think porn at face value is a bad thing. It's the culture of it now that's a bad thing. It's too much. It is too much. I mean, how old do you think kids are nowadays when they're first seeing porn? 5, 6? It's crazy. And it's
very young.
It's from every angle, and it is just too damn much. It has become way the hell too normal.
Also, I should look up, but I should look this up because I'm not sure, but my gut in answer to that question, Loomis, somebody look this up and see if I'm correct or not. It says, isn't that the argument against marijuana, that the one you mentioned, but that it leads to more and more extreme drugs to get better highs? From what I think I recall, it actually does lead to higher tolerance, and people do end up taking more marijuana quite frequently. I'm not talking about harder drugs. I don't think that's a thing, but taking more, yes.
I think it is kind of similar, though, that like with the weed, like I think it should be legal. I think do what you want. However, I have a problem with people pretending like it's a wonderful thing. I mean, unless it's being done for like medical issues or whatever. Like I've known a lot of people who have had a problem with it and needed to stop and needed to get help. So I don't think we should be glamorizing it like it's a wonderful thing to be a pothead. And it's kind of the same thing.
Didn't Jimmy Dore, huge pothead, just quit?
Oh, really?
Yes, because it was interfering with his life.
Yeah.
It can get to that point. I know we kind of treat it like we treat porn like, oh, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but it's set the legality aside, whether or not you think it should be legal. Just talking about whether or not it is healthy for a person. I tend to think, again, I told you I'm going to be judgy in this stream. I tend to think
same.
it's a way of checking out. I used to smoke
Mhm.
pot. It was a way for me to check out. And
I only have a few
yeah.
times because I go crazy.
You go
I'm like, you. I mean, you know me. I'm
paranoid.
like, no, I'm like on the ceiling.
Wait, it makes you hyper?
Yeah, but that's the thing. It would take like friggin' horse tranquilizers to make me not hyper. Like me, normal on not on anything is like, most people very high.
It's you're so, of course it would do that for you. That's funny.
No, but I think it's the culture with both of them. I think it's the culture behind it. And I think with pot, I think it's more it's less widespread. It's more niche in a way. But if you look at the culture of people who are hardcore potheads, their life revolves around it. And I think with porn, that's kind of now mainstream culture. It's everywhere. It's like,
It's
have you ever seen the movie Matilda?
No. I don't
Chat,
think so.
have you guys seen how have you not seen Matilda? Okay, well, there's a scene where like there's this little kid and there's the evil principal and she's a big fat bitch and she makes him eat an entire massive chocolate cake and she's like, we're not going anywhere until you finish this cake. And the kid's a fat kid too. So he's like, okay, great. But then he keeps eating the cake, eating the cake, eating the cake. And I think that is society right now. We are all Bruce Bogtrotter. And it's one thing to have it's one thing to have a slice of cake with dessert. It's another to be sitting there eating, and we are basically having cake thrown at us from every angle every minute of the day.
That's a great analogy. I don't exclude myself from this either. Like, I have a Red Bull right here. This is something I want to cut up. Like, you know what I mean? There are things.
This is my addiction. I need to quit drinking soda.
But the thing is, like, I
and vaping.
I have correctly identified some of them, I think, in my opinion, and cut them out. And the thing about the mood altering and the mind altering substances, like alcohol in my case, also weed in my case, is that here's what I noticed. I was using them to check out to such a degree that I wondered at the end of my life, if you add up all the time that I've been checked out on these substances, how many years would it be total? And would I want to get those years back? And so some people I can already hear being like, how can you be so judgy? Look, I'm judgy about the activity itself, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to hang out with you if you smoke. And it doesn't mean I hang out with people who have different opinions on this all the time. I don't sit there. I don't tell my friend, like, I think you should stop. Like, I'm not an annoying person, but I'm just saying.
I am. I just don't like pot. I'm not talking about people who smoke the weed. I don't like potheads. Like, I just don't enjoy being around them,
The ones who do it all the time. Like,
yeah, I'm not talking about somebody who does, I'm talking about like potheads.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think it's a little bit. Yeah. Here's my husband. So he said,
hey, Anthony, I miss you.
He says, I just watched a funny Lewis Black bit today about developing a tolerance for weed. It's the same really with anything, especially porn. Yeah, you can develop a tolerance for these things. CJ, I have to say hello to CJ. I just saw him in person at the Dallas Rippaverse Geeks and Gamers Friday Night Tights meetup.
So
and it was great. I haven't mentioned that yet since I didn't do my Monday show. It was so great to see so many of you guys in real life. I love that. And I love what Eric July is doing. I love what the Friday Night Tights and Geeks and Gamer guys are doing. And it's so impressive, like all the people who come out. And it's really hard to get to spend a good amount of time with every person because there's so many people there. And it's like a family reunion or a wedding where you're just kind of snippets of conversation. But CJ, it was great to see you. He says, Keri, great seeing you in Dallas. Looking forward to seeing what craziness you found for us today. Well, we're doing it. It's pretty crazy. Sorry. Mike has a question. Miles has a question.
Hey, Miles.
Miles Kinslow for $5. Thank you, Miles. Says, hey guys, is the problem porn or masturbation? There are so many things, movies, TV, magazines that distort our view of reality.
I think it's kind of one and the same. Like I said, I think it's kind of just the whole culture behind it. It's too damn much.
it's even porn itself has become in our lifetime. It used to be it wasn't as ubiquitous and it was harder for kids to see that stuff. And now it's on a device, anything you want, anytime. And it's on Twitter, it's on X. Elon Musk just said it's already on X, but he's gonna be doing, something more with it on X. It's like, why? There's enough porn sites already. And
Yeah.
teenagers use X and
You know what I don't understand too? And so here's the thing is like, then you have, with gay people, it's Grinder. I'm sure for straight people, they use Tinder that way. But it's like you have an entire generation then basically cosplaying as porn stars. I've encountered so many
Yes.
people. It would be one thing, which would be bad enough if somebody was like on OnlyFans or whatever. However, I've met these people, these guys that like have entire porn Twitter accounts of themselves. I don't get the point of it. I'm
It's
like, if you're gonna be a whore, at least get paid for it.
it there it's just I feel like our culture has just become where we're at right now sometimes, and maybe this is because I'm looking at the worst of it on Reddit, but I I think we're at Slop Mountain, and everybody wants to be the king of Slop Mountain, but it's still slop. It's still just gross, debasing degeneracy. And my pastor, bear with me for a minute, Mike. I'm going to share a Christian anecdote. My pastor gave a sermon this past Sunday. Now, it wasn't about this topic, but he did touch on this briefly when he was talking about how if you are a believer, so if you share my faith, if you're a believer, you believe God, we were created in God's image. We are the image bearers of God. And he talked about how you can, in the Bible, there's some, uh, what would you say, sort of symbology and some matching things about how if you go back to Genesis and you look how God created the earth, it's almost like another section of the Bible where they're talking about building a temple. So he's like, it's almost like you could look at the earth as God's temple. And what do you put inside of a temple? You put an image of the God you're worshiping. What image did he put on earth? He put an image of himself, human, man. Man was created in his image. And you are something divine. If you're a believer, you believe this. You're something divine. You're something you're made, you have royalty, royal blood. You're made in the image of God. You're something transcendent. You're not just an animal in the mud and the muck, and you're not just some pig rolling around in your own bodily functions. And you're debasing yourself when you do this. You're debasing your divine nature. I think you're killing your soul slowly when you do this stuff.
Well,
So
oh, sorry.
yeah, thank you for allowing me my rant.
No,
But
please. I was gonna say, to give kind of the more secular perspective, I guess, would be that look at the outcome, look at the results of
Mhm.
it. It's just not good for you. Every statistic would show that people are having less sex than ever, people are having less relationships than
Yes.
ever, less marriage, less kids, everything. Since all of these things have become so omnipresent, every good thing has kind of declined. So I would just say you're only hurting yourself. Look at the outcome of it.
Thank you for giving that secular perspective. I appreciate it, because I know there are people who are going to tune out immediately if I give a Christian perspective on it. But hey, Christians, look, you should look at the porn rates for Christians. They have incredibly high porn rates. People who say they're Christian who are watching porn and have a problem with it. So it's like that. That's why I'm giving that perspective as well. Hello, Natalie from Light. She says, "Yes, sons and daughters of the King." I love you, lady. Thanks for being here.
Ooh, she's hot.
She and her sister Michelle are both stunning ladies, and Michelle is on my the Christian panel that we do every other Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
And Natalie and Michelle do a lot of, you would love their channel actually. They do a lot of react videos to, there's
Oh
so
my
many
gosh.
movies they haven't seen. And so you get to watch sort of a summary of the movie through their eyes, watching it for the first time.
Oh, I love that. We just watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space for the first time. It was amazing. But I was just, oh, sorry. Aw.
You are precious, I can tell.
Oh, whatever. What was I saying? No, well, I was gonna say, I think both sides of the argument, the Christian one and the secular, are both important because they're two different sides of it. There's the spiritual side and there's the day-to-day actionable outcome side.
Yes, both are important. And
Mhm.
also as a believer, I think there is a reason for every commandment that God gives us to live by. And I may not understand the reason for some of those things yet, or maybe ever, but I think there is a reason. And a great example would be when he talks about sex before marriage, like saving it for marriage. I think part of that is because you can develop an emotional attachment. Your body's releasing oxytocin during sex. You can develop an emotionally attachment maybe to someone who you shouldn't be partnered with, and then you think you're in love with them, and then you decide you want to get married to them, and it's like maybe that's
I
in
know
there
nothing about
because
that.
he's like, this is a bad, you know nothing about that. You fall in love, and then maybe God's like trying to save you from those bad choices by being like, hey, you know what, just save it for a marriage. Like, so I think it's good for you to point out the secular opinion also.
Well, and I think so many people now I'm sure, I feel like a lot of these things began with the gay culture that is poisonous, and they've sort of taken that poisonous culture and now want to export it to the general population, because now I think a lot of it is spreading to women and men and how they interact with each other. Because for me personally, in my experience, I feel like a lot of these people just do not know how to interact with each other than sexually, and it's not sexually in a good way. It's just, like, I've had it happen so many times that I'll meet someone and I'll be like, "Ooh, maybe we'll like go on a date or something." And the only conversation they can have is texting you at midnight, "Come over." And I just like lose all interest at that point,
It's just sex
It's
based, yeah.
but it's like not even. It's like not even. You know what I mean?
What is it then? It's
It's like jerking off with a person instead of your hand. To be graphic. It's not even like anything that you would consider to be good about sex, aside from the physical component, is lacking, is
like
devoid.
that's what most people on that app are looking for, is just sort of
Not even apps, just people you meet at a bar, people you meet anywhere.
there's something so sterile about it and just filthy and like not
Exactly.
there's nothing sacred about it. It's sort of like, you know,
Even what's like my pet peeve with when you're talking to somebody new, whether it's someone you met or from an app, whatever, is when they use this word that I'm not talking about what the word means, but the usage of the word. This word is so obscene to me and so repulsive when they use the word cuddle.
why?
They'll be like, "Come cuddle." That word represents everything wrong with the world right now. It is the end of romance. It is like, because that's something that should happen. You should be cuddling with somebody spontaneously in the moment because you like each other and you have a connection with someone. And this sort of like predetermined, robotic, scheduled cuddle, it grosses me out so much. I feel like there is such darkness behind that word.
Okay,
It's like giving a performance of emotions.
I'm gonna show you something. If you think that's gross, I'm gonna show you something really gross. Hold on to your hats. This is a site where you can order you can order like a prostitute, but what you're paying them for is for them to come and cuddle with you. Talk about taking the intimacy out of it. Or I don't know if you pay them on this. I know some sites you can pay them. Maybe this is where you just this one you don't pay them. It's like a hookup site, except what you're hooking up to do is cuddle.
That's
Get
so sad.
get a cuddle buddy today.
That's so sad. Oh my God, I
It's
just
like
died inside.
it's like you can't expect anything more. We know you're not going to have we don't have you're never going to be able to find a sirloin steak. You're never going to be able to find, so we're just going to give you this dirty piece of hamburger meat off the ground and you'll have to settle for it. Let's just you here, come find a piece of dirty McDonald's hamburger meat and instead of a sirloin steak, cuz you're not going to be able to find sirloin steak. Like it's sort of like, I've given up. I'm just going to order a cuddle.
It's so
Like,
sad. It's so sad. This says so much. It says so much. It's like, because people are so incapable of having any sort of relationships with each other, that it's so disgusting. It's like, let's pretend we like each other.
Yes.
It's so sick. It's so sick.
It's so transactional.
I find this more disgusting than people who just hook up with everyone, because at least that you can comprehend the physical component of it, but this is just so deeply, deeply repulsive to me.
It bothers you. Hey, by the way, give it up for our mods. I see Robert is here tonight. Thank you, Robert. And Amy, Two Sisters and Some Yarn, just showed up. Thank you, Amy. She says, my cat is a cuddle buddy. Who has $20? I'll rent him out. Yeah, I get it. Look, my doggy Tiger's my cuddle. We sleep like this. Like he's my pillow. Pets are great, you know. So I've got another one to show you. Now, this is from a different forum on Reddit. My daughter, who is 18 and female, against I'm this woman writing this is a 45-year-old female, against my advice, decided to come out to my wealthy, bigoted parents. They have now disowned her, and now I am being blamed. What can I do to fix this? So here we go. If you need me to pause any time, let me know. This is going to be long, but I need some real help here because I just don't know what the heck I'm doing anymore. I'm a single parent to 2 children who are 17 and 18, and the unfortunate daughter to 2 boomers, both in their 70s. My parents are the epitome of the white, wealthy boomer stereotype. They are entitled, racist, sexist, MAGA-brained bigots who abuse service workers for sport and think that attending church on Sundays makes them good Christian people. They are also stinking, filthy rich due to them capitalizing on a series of business ventures.
Hello,
in
Envy.
the 70s and 80s. Hello, Envy, right?
Envy has entered the chat.
Hello, Envy, my old
friends.
It's nice to talk to you again. They're also stinking, filthy rich due to them capitalizing on a series of business. So due to them being successful in life, you mean? So in the 70s and 80s, plus generational wealth. And so they're packing a 7-figure bank account.
So wait, so generational wealth would mean you get this money, bitch.
Well,
you're the next generation, are you not?
No,
or you want the money, I'm sure.
You're about to find out she's not, but her grandkids her kids were going to get it. But here we go. My entire life, my parents have held their money over my head as a tool in order to get me to do what they wanted. In my teens, I ended up rebelling and going no contact with them, which a lot of people do today. But when I became pregnant by my late husband, he convinced me to give them a second chance and let them back into my life. Since we reconnected, they have never given me a dime for my own costs. And even after I lost my husband, they only ever helped pay off my house, the house my husband and I bought together. They paid off your house?
You're welcome.
Yeah.
The only thing that needs to be coming out of your motherfucking mouth is thank you.
Right. She's like, all they ever did was only pay off my house. What?
Only.
You should be able to say, like, thank you. Thank you, Mom and Dad, who I clearly resent for, even though she resents them, they paid off her house.
That's insane.
Okay. All they ever helped to do was pay off my house. But this was purely to keep a roof over their grandkids' heads, not their daughters. In spite of that, though, they have truthfully been pretty good grandparents to my kids. Oh, really? And they have always known that they would fund them through college. Wow. So all they've ever done for you is pay off your house and promise to pay your kids college. That's all. That's the only thing they've done, though. That's it.
Jesus. And
that on their passing, when they die, that they were set to inherit millions, meaning her son and daughter are supposed to inherit millions. The issue began 4 months ago when my daughter came out to me. I was so
red flag,
proud of her.
Red flag.
I was so proud of her, and that I had successfully fostered an environment where she felt safe enough to open up to me like this. I was so happy.
Red flag. See, I've been thinking this whole time. I'm like, this is unfortunate, but it's difficult to know now. If you hearing that someone came out, are they actually just a gay person, or are they coming out as an alphabet person? You can't really know. But this is giving us some insight into that. That's a red
Exactly.
flag. I was so happy. Why are you so happy?
Why are
I
you
wouldn't be
happy?
so happy.
I'm so proud.
I'd be like, oh, well, sucks for you.
Is that what you would
Sorry.
tell?
Yeah, I'd be like, are you sure? No, because I think there are some people who are just like hardwired to be gay. That's who they like me. But there are some people who it's more, you know, they're more, I don't know, I guess open. And then there are people who are just, going along with the trend. But I would say, I'm like, if you're not like super hardwired to be that way and can like will yourself into not being, I would do that just for your own sake. So you don't have to deal with these friggin' people.
Well, this mom could not be prouder. Okay.
Red flag.
So, by the way, Davina, I saw you in the chat. Davina says, "Am I the baddie?"
Hey, Davina.
Okay, we'll continue. So she's very proud her daughter came out. Okay. Afterwards, she broached the topic of extending the news to her grandparents, and that's where my smile faded. The following is an abridged version of what I told her. Quote, I want you to be your true self, and I will never deny you that, but your grandparents come from a very different world to the one you and I occupy. If they learn that you're gay, it's not just that they won't be able to understand you, they're going to actively punish you for it. Every day the world is becoming more and more difficult just to exist in, and your generation are eventually going to be facing challenges.
How?
Well, I think she and I would disagree on. I do think the world's harder to exist in
Well,
today.
yeah, but I think she means for
She
the
means something
gays.
exactly. She means something different. She's
Mhm.
saying something, "Oh, it's so hard to be gay today." No, it's not. Not today.
Oh, it is, but only because of gay people. It's hard having to deal with gay people.
Explain.
They're just the worst in every way.
You're gonna get called homophobic again.
I am. They say you have internalized homophobia. I'm like, no, it's externalized. No, and the thing is, when I came out when I was 18, so I was this girl's age. All I wanted was for it to be like the same thing as saying I have brown eyes, just an irrelevant fact. And it kind of wasn't then. It was, less accepted then. But now it's like gone too far in the other direction where it's why is it something to be proud of or happy about? Okay, your life is going to be more insufferable, so I'm happy.
Yeah. You're gonna get pulled into a cult that's gonna use you.
Mm-hmm. You're going to have to date people who are incapable of having relationships or any sort of anything.
So she continues, I want you to be safe and secure as you go forward in life. But because your father is no longer here to help support us, I've not been able to do right by you financially the way I wish I could have. If you come out to grandma and grandpa, though, you will not be their gay granddaughter. To them, you will just be another FAG. They will cut you off. That will mean no more expensive gifts, no more car, no more free ride to college, no more private apartment, no inheritance, nothing. They will take everything.
Get a job.
Right. I told her that I was by no means asking her to stay in the closet. She can still live her life as out and proud as she wants. Get a girlfriend, experiment sexually. She's telling her daughter to experiment sexually, but just do not advertise it on social media and definitely do not do it around my parents.
What?
My
Take gay or straight out of it. Who would ever tell that to their child?
Experiment sexually. Experiment sexually, 18-year-old daughter.
God.
That's what she's
No
saying.
boundaries. No boundaries. These are parents who want to be their kid's best friend, and there's no. See, this shit would never fly with the Italians.
No.
You would never hear an Italian mother saying, "Go experiment sexually."
Yeah. Now listen to this part. She says, my parents are old. They don't get out much anymore, and mostly they just spend their time going back and forth between church and the store
Boo church.
Boo church.
Bad.
Between church and the store and home where they sit around reading conspiracies on Facebook. They are also not in good health, and I do not see them lasting more than 7 to 10 years. That's how she That's how she
I hate her.
That's how I just want to put your face.
I hate this bitch.
I knew, because you have such a good relationship with your parents, and you have great parents, and just to hear her talk about them that way is like,
It's so disgusting. It's so
and
disgusting. Or especially it was this one, right, that mentioned no contact, which has become a
yes,
buzzword for predators that people like Jeffrey Marsh use, and it's become very trendy,
yes,
especially on TikTok and stuff, to go no contact with your family. I bitched someone out I saw on Twitter that some guy was like going off about his father. I'm like, first of all, my dad is my best friend. He's 90, he just turned 93 years old. And these people
wow,
have, and like nobody ever thinks that that's how old he is. Like he does so much. He does more than most
he does.
40-year-olds in a day. But like these people have no idea how lucky they are that like I would cut off my arms if it would make him just a couple years younger, And they just throw away relationships with their family. They have no idea how lucky they are. And especially these people, they're fucking loaded. And you're still
And also,
complaining.
she's never really said why she hates them so much, other than that she called them MAGA bigots and said they go to church, and she doesn't like their views on homosexuality. But otherwise, it's like, but they paid off your house, and you said they've been good grandparents, and they are going to pay for your kids' college. And so, why are you just talking about like you can't wait until they die? That's how you sound.
I love Robert's comment. I wish we could go no contact with Pride Month. You and me both. Hey, Daniel.
Robert.
Mhm.
Robert. Okay, here we go. Let's continue. So she says they're not in good health. I do not see them lasting more than 7 to 10 years. I told her if she plays her cards right and lays low around them, she will never have to struggle the way so many of her friends are struggling, and that when the time comes, she can choose to bury them in a rainbow coffin if she wishes.
What
Knowing,
a bitch. This is like sociopathic.
knowing their views on pride or
Why is that not?
gay.
Like, I was about to say this jokingly, but by the time it went from my brain to my mouth, I'm not joking anymore. Why is that not kind of a hate crime?
Right?
It is a little bit if you think
Well, she
about it.
hates her parents. It's
Yeah.
apparent.
But you know what I mean? Like, it would be considered, if you had some Jewish person, you wouldn't bury them in a swastika.
Right. Well,
So
if you
why would you,
hate them,
if they're against all the alphabet shit, why is it not considered hateful? Bury them in a rainbow coffin. Like that's just
yeah,
so disgusting.
yeah, it's so gross. Oh, and my husband has a good point. Anthony says, "Look at this. Thank you. Number 1, be proud and be yourself," she says. But number 2, but be someone else for 7 to 10 years to get money.
So sick.
Teaching her daughter to tap dance for money.
Yeah, everything she's saying is exactly what I was expecting the moment she said, "I'm so proud and so happy."
Yeah. Okay, so let's continue.
Mhm.
At the time, she seemed sad, but she said she understood and we hugged it out. And that was that until it wasn't. My daughter has an online circle of queer
There
friends.
it is. There it is.
Queer, not gay, queer. It's a
Mhm.
political ideology.
Yeah, I am deeming this girl not a legit lesbo.
I have the same gut feeling, actually. I don't think she's a lesbian, but okay. She has an online circle of queer friends that she speaks with daily through Discord, and they've been filling her ears with things like how she needs to come out to them, and how by not embracing her identity, there's a cult word, fully, she still has one foot in the closet. That even if her grandparents react negatively, at least she'll be living her authentic self. Since she started bringing it up, I have been trying to drill into her what a terrible idea this was. Often and repeatedly, I thought she was listening. Well, it happened. We had my parents over for dinner, and she decided to stand up in the middle of dessert and come out to them. She had this whole speech
Look at
prepared.
me.
Yeah. Look at me. I am the dessert. Ready? Pay attention. She had this whole speech prepared about how she knows that they are from a different time, about how the world changes and how they will have to learn to change too. Arrogance. Talking to your elders
They
that
don't have to
way.
do a damn thing.
But that she knows deep down they will come to accept her in time. It was like watching a car crash in slow motion, only my daughter was in the driver's seat and the brake was completely out of reach. After she was finished, my parents gathered their things and walked out. That was a month ago, and they have since disowned her completely. Last week, we received the news that they have written her out of their will. They have canceled the phone contract. Oh, so wait a minute. And they've taken back
Wow.
the car. They gave her a car. They've taken back the car that was in their name.
The
Okay, so
plot thickens.
the plot thickens. Earlier, you said all they've ever done for me is pay off my house and agree to pay for my kid's college. Oh, but they also bought your kid a car and they paid for her phone and what else, right? Like it seems like they've done a lot for you. I'm just saying that most people don't get. She says, my daughter was set to inherit millions and now she will be receiving nothing. She's currently preparing for college and now she's facing the reality that she'll have to take out loans and get a job.
Oh no, not that. Not the J word. Oh no. Heavens. What shall she ever do?
Like, she's like, it's just the entitlement is off the charts. Like, as if you were owed this, as if this is something that's normal and not like again. She was ungrateful for all the other stuff they've done for her. So,
and then bitching about generational wealth.
Right. So why would she be grateful for this? Of course, she's not. She views it as an entitlement.
Let me say also though, the flip side of it, we don't know anything about these people, the grandparents. So maybe they're wonderful, maybe they're we don't know. However, I will say I think just in general, if you're trying to get a younger person out of this cult, this is not an effective way to do it. What they're doing, which maybe that's not the case and they just don't,
However, the grandparents, right? I agree.
Because I've had friends who their kids were getting pulled into this cult, and I told them, I was like, okay, you have to approach it very delicately, because if you go too hard, they're going to go deeper into it and rebel against what you're saying. And it was effective to just, you can't, this is not, I don't think, a good way to pull her out of it.
Right. But also on the flip side, it's their money.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I know you agree with me on this, and it's up to them how they choose to spend it, whether you agree with their views or not. And if they don't agree with something, then they're like, well, I'm not going to fund this. And so it's sort of, I agree with what you're saying. And it's also this mother is acting like it's not their money to withhold. Broken Umbrella says, imagine being that girl and having mom descend upon you as you inherit the money. A vampire. Now you have it. Right?
Take your check and go eat pussy.
Okay. Even if I anticipated this response from them, I am still thoroughly sickened and I have cut them off once and for all. One of the last messages they sent to me was, we worked hard for our money and she won't be using it to fund her degenerate lifestyle. This was the little girl whose hand they once held in the park, whose little body they once carried on their shoulders. I feel sick. My daughter's inconsolable, but she has turned her anger against me. She's blaming me for this entire thing, and every day she alternates between raging and crying and raging again. Our home has become completely inhospitable. Things have been broken, and my son and I are walking on eggshells. This whole time, I've just been taking her SHIT, but last night we had another confrontation, and she screamed at me that this was all my fault and that I just wanted her to live in the closet her whole life and that I've never supported her. And this time I just snapped. I yelled back that I
slapped her.
I yelled back that I warned her, and she chose not to listen, that her and her pack of stupid online friends, people who've never even met my parents, all thought they knew better. And you decided to listen to them over the one person in this world who's actually raised by them, that I had advised
just her. Like they have their hands out. Give me.
So she's going on and is like, how do I repair this relationship with my daughter? But the story itself, I just thought we had to read that story because that mom is just, again, setting aside, maybe the parents are terrible. I don't know. But this mom is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
That much is clear.
We had her pegged from the get-go.
The mom or her daughter?
The whole situation. As soon as she said, I'm so happy, I'm so proud. Like, you can tell, this is, don't welcome the vampires in. This cult, they are vampires.
Right.
And that the mother welcomed them in. She was probably raised with rainbows everywhere.
She probably pushed it on her. And this group of online friends on Discord obviously are pushing it on her. And yeah. Okay.
That's
got
why I
an-
always say. That's why I always say to friends who have, or just in general, like people who have kids. I'm like, I think it sucks that this is necessary. I wish it weren't the case, but I really feel like they need to kind of talk to their kids about this thing that, hey, this is something you are going to encounter. This is the pressure that will be placed on you, because they are going to hear about it. They are going to get this pressure. And I think better it should come. They should hear it first from you. I think if you just stay hands off and allow it to happen, they're going to get dragged into that cult.
It's so like today, I can't even imagine being a parent and trying to safeguard them against that. It's sort of, you can't have them in public schools. You probably shouldn't give them access to devices until they're older. Like you really have to, and raise them with a belief system, because if you don't give them a belief system, they're going to pick one up somewhere from online, from culture, from school, from the government, I've got from Aaron W. He says, I doubt the mom is not telling the whole story. I bet the granddaughter rudely told off the grandparents.
Well, just the fact that she made an announcement at dessert.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure it was a disaster.
Oh, everybody enjoying their Sunday roast and their cheesecake. By the way, I like pussy.
Yeah. She's like, me. Ranting Monkey says, it's amazing how much they talk about money, not the loss of their relationship. It was the millions that they lost. Yeah.
It's just so funny how different things are now, because, I think when I was growing up, it was sort of separate. There wasn't, or at least it wasn't as widespread, that being gay could be somewhat separate from this cult and this entire ideology, that it wasn't like this.
This is a totally new thing. Well, speaking of not being like this, let's move on to the trans forum. Is my pronoun choice transphobic? That's the question. You're gonna love this one. Here we go. Hi, I joined a small gaming community and I met another trans person on there. Oh, did you? There's so many today. I mean, it used to be 0.01% of the population. Yeah. Now it's like, through a rock, you're gonna hit a trans. Like, okay, I met another trans person there. We started chatting, and after I said that due to cis people finding stuff weird, I only put binary pronouns in my bio, and she asked for my other, like my real pronouns. I said the ones I use, which include it and its. Okay, so this person's pronouns are it and its.
I thought that used to be derogatory.
Right.
We've come full circle.
I feel like it and its, not due to any dehumanizing qualities, but it just feels right. And it gives me feelings of something vast and not fully knowable, like this galaxy.
Oh, yeah, you're a galaxy, bitch. This bitch, I guarantee you, is into some sick shit. This is the kind of person who's like, I want you to put me on a leash and I'm going to bark like a dog.
Right.
Use me as your toilet. Guarantee you, if we look at their other posts.
Gross.
It's going to be like, I'm licking public toilets. Come piss on me.
Do you think this person returns the grocery cart to the grocery cart corral?
Oh my God, that's a really good, question. Like a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a good barometer.
Litmus test. It's
litmus test.
Yeah, I've heard that theory online before. Somebody did a whole meme about it, about the grocery cart test. Like, I don't think this person returns the grocery cart. Okay, so this person says, I like the pronouns it and its. It feels right and gives me feelings of something vast and not fully knowable, like the galaxy or ocean. Terms I find that can describe my gender identity pretty well. Well, after that, she blocked me. And I got banned from the server soon after, and I messaged a mod about it, and I got told that transphobes are not allowed, and I was blocked by them too. I know some people dislike it and its, but I do, meaning I guess I like them. I do like them. I would never force someone to use it. I have 3 other pronoun sets that I use anyways. Of course you do. Of course you have 3 other pronoun sets. And I will, of course, not call anyone else it unless they ask me to. But now mostly my annoying as F anxiety. And you have anxiety? You're kidding me. You're kidding me. But now I am getting pretty stressed about it. Question mark, question mark, question mark. I have had negative reactions because of it in the past. And every time it feels more and more like something is wrong with me.
Oh, there's something wrong with you.
I think there's something
I promise
wrong.
you, there's something wrong with you.
First answer from the trans mod team. It and its or any other pronoun that a person wants to use for the person should be respected and utilized as appropriate. You can think such pronouns are dehumanizing, silly, or whatever you want to privately.
Privately.
But when you interact with someone who utilizes such pronouns, you owe the person the respect.
Absolutely not.
You do
I
not.
don't owe you shit.
No, you don't owe anyone respect. Respect is earned. If you owe everyone respect, then respect means nothing. It is nothing. Then it means nothing to say I respect my grandfather, for example, who I greatly respected. That would mean nothing if I owe it to some lunatic who wants me to call them it. Like,
Absolutely not. They feel it, the entitlement is just off the charts. They feel entitled to everything.
everything. They demand it, right? You owe the
I
person.
think it's so funny too, by the way. Have you ever seen where they mix and match, like instead of like he, him, it'll be like he, she, or
Yes.
he, they. Is that not a bit of a tacit admission that these pronouns are bullshit? Because it's like he or she also.
Oh,
Screw you.
To me, it indicates they have a higher degree of narcissism. The more they make it bespoke, like bespoke pronouns, you know. I'm coming up with my own. They're just for me, person.
No,
Like though
no.
your narcissism's way off the charts. Like I'm he, she, and it. You know, okay, because I'm a special snowflake.
My pronouns are go fuck yourself.
Okay, I'm just gonna finish this out with the advice from the mod.
Oh god.
You owe the person respect of utilizing the pronouns the person has expressed that the person uses. The same goes for any neo pronouns. To do otherwise is to deny the person's authentic identity. Authentic identity.
So authentic. So authentic. God, it's so funny too, because I feel like this very much relates to what you were saying before about how we're children of God, we're spiritual beings. Not this one, apparently. This is an it.
Yeah. I mean, it is. You're right, Mikey. It's like degrading. It's so degrading. Like you're not a special. This person doesn't. I can tell you right now. They talk so much about identity, but I can tell you what their identity is not. It's not that they are made of something divine.
And it's so funny how, if you really think about it, you are showing them so much, infinitely more respect than they're showing themselves.
Oh, by saying they're it.
But you're the bigot.
I'm the bigot, right? Two sisters and some yarn says my pronouns are hush up.
Yes.
And Robert says she, he, it, shit.
My pronouns are obvious. I love that.
Obvious.
If I've ever had some sort of like form I've had to fill out where you have to put your pronouns or whatever, I just write no.
Francis Montgomery, thank you, Francis, for the super chat for $4.99. Says stepfamily porn seems to be inserted everywhere in modern porn sites. I have a conspiracy theory. It's a feature, not a bug. Yeah, if you go through and look at statistics, every year Pornhub puts out stats. They put out a bunch of data, and you can go and look at all the spreadsheets of like the most searched terms they break it down by country, and the stuff that people are looking for is getting more and more taboo and more perverse.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, the kind of porn that people are regularly consuming is getting more degenerate. So
It's I think it's because it's so widespread. It's because so many people are just hooking up with a different person every day that it's not enough. It's like drugs that you'll become immune to. You'll need what I'm brain dead. What's the word? You become accustomed to it. What's the word I'm looking for? You build a tolerance.
You build up a tolerance.
You build up a tolerance. So they keep having to find the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and it's getting darker and darker and sicker and sicker. And nobody will question this. Nobody will look inward. Nobody will look at each other. Nobody will say, "Is this really healthy?"
Yeah.
Desensitized. Thank you.
Desensitized.
Words. I'm smart.
Thank you, guys. Everyone nailed it except me.
Except me.
Okay, I've got how much more time do you have to spend with us, Mikey?
I got all the time in the world for you,
Okay.
my love. I'm so excited for Thursday.
I'm so excited too. We're hanging out twice this week. I'm gonna be on Mikey's channel on Thursday, guys.
We haven't done an episode just the two of us on my channel in like 2 years. She's been on
No.
it a bunch with like other people, but I'm so excited.
Yay! Okay, I'm just trying to figure out which one to put on the screen
I'm
next.
obsessed with the relationship advice one. We should look at some of those on Thursday too.
Okay, wait, let's look at this one first. Okay. Wait, that's the one we were just looking at. This one here. Okay, this is in my partner is trans forum. Now, there's a ton of
I'm
people
surprised they allow that forum.
well, because it's supportive and educational, and it's people who talk about like once their partner has come out as trans, how do they love and support them, right? Now, this person really upset people because they posted that they were getting a divorce. Okay, so
By the way, sorry, can I just parentheses real quick? Ranting Monkey is in the chat. I don't know if you guys know each other, but if not, you should, because you would love each other.
I know Ranting Monkey from the chat, yes.
He was like one of the people that kind of red pilled me. He was the first channel I ever
Really?
started watching on YouTube back in the day when my views started changing.
I had no idea. Maybe you told me that and I forgot.
Yeah. And we're like friends now. But I still like nerd out about that because I'm like, oh my god, it's a ranting monkey.
Ranting Monkey. Good to see you. Teresa, cis is not a word. It's not. It's them trying to force you to play their game. It's them trying to normalize something that's not normal, which is gender dysphoria, and pretend like it's normal. Okay, so here we go. This woman says she's a cis female with a male to female spouse. Okay. Hi, we're divorcing. Hi, it's been a very long time since I posted here. I'm wondering if there's anyone here who even still remembers me. I used to be a mod here years ago. I wonder if I should post here or not. I thought I should maybe share my story after everything I went through, how much I loved her and supported her. Now, she's talking about him. She's talking about her male husband who who transitioned into living as a woman. So how much I loved her and supported her.
I feel so sorry for these people.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people in this forum, it's kind of like a cult. If a lot of them come in here and they're like, I don't know what to do. My partner just told me that he's actually a woman and I don't know. And it's almost like a cult where they get groomed and they get told this is how to react. You should support and love your wife. Stop calling her your husband. She's your wife. Like they immediately force the language on you, And so this woman did this for years. She did this. So she goes, she still betrayed me in the end. I'll tell the story for those who don't remember me. Grab a beverage and snack. Okay. My partner came out as trans, male to female, in 2014. Not even 1 full year into our marriage. Like many mostly heterosexual cis women, this woman's still using the fake language. I was shocked and not okay with it at first. This also came out after months of her suddenly being very cold and distant. She lost interest in sex, and I didn't know why. I encouraged her to get, she's talking about a man. I encouraged her to get her testosterone checked at the time, but she avoided it and kept putting it off. Eventually, she told me she finally got it checked and it was normal, but said that she didn't tell me out of spite. Then it went from loss of interest to her flat out saying that sex is disgusting and that she never wanted to have sex again. Of course, I was lost and confused and didn't understand what was going on. She kept saying she didn't know why and told me that a switch just flipped. You know what was happening here? Right here during this time period of your life, lady, your husband stopped having sex with you and he started being cold and distant because he was watching. I can guarantee you he had escalated his porn addiction into watching tranny porn. He had escalated into watching the sissy hypnotic porn, all that stuff that is about, telling a man that he should become a woman. That's what I would, if this were Vegas and I could place a bet. This is why he became cold and distant. This is why he didn't want to have sex anymore, because he escalated into and got addicted to watching something where he couldn't have sex with you like a normal
I was
husband.
gonna say this before too, but like this is like I've never seen so many guys with like sexual dysfunctions. And like it with gay guys at least, it seems like it's only one of two things. Either they are complete degenerate whores, or they're a mountain of sexual dysfunctions where they're basically asexual, which I think is they are all on so many pharmaceutical drugs, and this is probably a big component of it too.
Oh, all the different, yeah, because the
Mhm.
people take pharmaceuticals now like candy. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't even start questioning how ubiquitous pharmaceuticals were until I started leaving the woke cult. There are all these things that I just took as normal, but now I'm like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
this isn't normal. This isn't how humans should be living normally, you know?
And by the way, this post goes to show why there is no such thing as LGBT, because this completely goes against the viewpoint that sexual orientation is involuntary and hardwired. They are acting like you can just choose to switch your sexuality. Like if I'm dating a man and he says I'm a woman, okay, well, I'm gay. But these people genuinely believe that, or at least pretend to, that you can just switch your
They do.
either they believe sexuality is a choice, or they don't really believe that trans women are women. It can only be one of those
Only
two
one of
things.
those
There's
2
no
things.
other option.
Yes, because they all on this forum, once they come into this forum and they get pulled into the cult, like this woman, a lot of them come in, like she said, she came in like not agreeing with it, but then over time they get coaxed by this cult into, you should still love your wife, talking about her husband. You should still support her, and you love the person inside, don't you? And then over time they all start going, I am a lesbian now, even though they're still married to a biological man. But they're like, start calling themselves lesbians.
That's so nuts. I can't with these people.
Okay,
And
so
also, I think the exact same thing about like these men who marry women and they're secretly gay and then they come out 30 years later. I think, unpopular opinion, but it's one I will stand by all day long. I'm going to censor the words because I don't want to affect your channel. I think people who do that ought to be, I think,
oh no.
penalty is what I think. I'm being a little bit facetious, but just this much. I think if you are so selfish that you choose to destroy another person's life, rob them of, I mean, some of these men, they stay married 20 years, 30 years, rob them of their chance to find real love. I just think that's the lowest of the low. And this is the same
You
thing
know
as that.
who the first person that comes to mind is, remember Elizabeth Smart? That was her name, right? The girl that was kidnapped?
Oh, yeah.
The blonde girl that was kidnapped and held by those deranged hippie lunatics, and then her parents got her back, and they were in the news all the time, right? Okay, so her dad came out as gay and left her mom in their 50s, I think they were, 60s. Yeah, they'd been together
I
their
have
whole
no
life.
sympathy for that.
Whole life, and then he's like he got all this favorable press, right? He started doing interviews by himself, like Elizabeth Smart's dad comes out, he's doing all this press talking about
Talk
how he's,
about Darvo.
yeah, I'm living my authentic life now. It's like, your wife,
Poor woman.
yeah, your wife gave her life to you. God,
That's
sucks.
disgusting.
Yeah.
I have no
Yeah.
sympathy for these people.
Okay, let's add this. Okay, here we go.
My
So
partner, red flag.
partner red flag. I encouraged her, she means him, but I encouraged her to see a sex therapist to figure out what's going on. It took a while, but she finally went to see someone who I later found out was actually a gender identity therapist. Oh, so your husband lied to you and went to see a gender identity therapist without telling you. So he's already keeping secrets from you. You thought it was just a regular therapist, but no, it's someone who helps a person transition. So after months of this, no answers, her refusing to talk to me about any of it, I was feeling so insecure and thinking maybe she just didn't feel attracted to me anymore, and refused to say it. I finally sort of ambushed her one night and flat out asked if she wanted a divorce, and she said no, and then I said, you need to tell me WTF is going on. That's when she came out and told me that for the past several months, she had been thinking that she was trans and wanted to
That says it
transition.
all. You hit the nail on the head, Keri, because that's not something I would think, like, if we're talking about people who I consider to be
Gender
legitimate
dysphoric.
who are truly gender dysphoric, what we would have in the past considered to be transsexuals, when, like you said, when they're 0.1% of the population, then it would have been, oh, this is something I've struggled with my entire life and I tried to get past or something. But no, you don't, when you're middle-aged, suddenly wake up one day and decide you're trans.
Right. Just for a few months, I've been thinking it's not. You're exactly right. Gender dysphoria, when it was being studied, back when it was actually being studied and treated as the mental illness that it is, they were finding it was mostly occurring. It was like 0.01% of the population. It was mostly young toddlers, boys. That's when it presented, and they never felt comfortable in their body. It wasn't a sexual fetish. They weren't adults. They were young boys who thought they should be girls. It wasn't about sex. But this new kind of thing where they call themselves trans, this is autogynephilia. These are men who have a porn addiction. They're degenerates, who are perverts, who've gotten their porn addiction has led them to a place of taboo where now they're like, now they can't even get off on the tranny porn they're watching. Now they have to themselves. Oh, now I have to become a woman. It's like, okay, taking it further and further and further. A couple things real quick. I just wanted to clarify this. Sue says, personally, I prefer the word partner to girlfriend, but I'm definitely not woke. I'm an anomaly, I suppose. Oh, well, yeah. Wow. And I just want to say, any red flag, when I say we say red flag, it doesn't always mean like blue hair is
exceptions.
Yeah, like blue hair is a red flag, but does it always mean the person's woke? No, I have friends with blue hair who are very based.
I hate that they've taken colored hair. I am all about based people who want to reclaim colorful hair.
Yeah,
you're the exception though, Sue. Usually I find it insufferable when people say partner, but you're amazing.
It just means to watch out for,
especially when straight people say it.
Oh, straight people say it the same way they put their pronouns in their bio.
Yep.
Even though it's obvious that, what was that actress Selena Gomez is like, she, her. I'm like, really? We know. Like, you don't have to put it in there. It's so
sick too that these people, it's so crazy. Like, he was thinking about it for a couple months and wants to transition. That's like, I mean, it was years for me when I sort of knew I was gay and came out, because, I kind of knew when I was like a teenager, and I didn't come out until I was 18, because I was like, I'm not gonna announce it until I'm like sure and have dated someone and stuff, So it's like, and that's something that, if it's not who you are, you can just, go back. It's not like making surgical changes to your body.
Yeah.
And it's just taken so lightly. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's taken so lightly. Like, sure, just, get this irreversible thing done.
Bye, Amy.
I think she said she's going to listen to it in bed.
Oh.
She's going to sleep. Bedtime stories.
You're going to have nightmares.
Yeah, this one gets worse. Okay, just hang in here with me. Okay. So that's when this woman's husband came out after and said for the past several months, he thought he'd been thinking he was trans and wanted to transition. Okay. I thought about it for 3 months and now I want to transition medically and surgically. Okay. She says, I didn't react well. This was another bomb dropped on me after her sudden 180 of being into sex to suddenly not, and saying that sex was disgusting. So for a couple months, so for months, you were in this dark place where you didn't know what was going on, and your husband wasn't showing you any physical affection, wasn't having sex with you, told you sex was disgusting. You didn't know what was going on. He was lying and gaslighting you. The up is down, down is up. I'm sure you felt very destabilized. Then he tells you, I'm actually a woman. So for a couple months, I was trying to figure out if I could stay or not. I really didn't want to be with a woman, and I was very resistant to it. Then I kept reading all these stories about trans women abandoning their supportive wives because they had to go be with a man instead. So I was scared to go on this journey, only to be abandoned in the end. I told her about this fear, and she was adamant that she only liked women, never liked men, and told me, and I directly quote, you just have a knack for finding worst case scenarios. Now
gaslighting.
So her husband is saying, hey, I want to be a woman now, but I'm only attracted to women. I'm never going to leave you. I'm not attracted to men. Okay. Now she says, I do have general anxiety anyway, so I thought maybe I was over worrying, but I was still scared. I even went with her to a session with her gender identity therapist once and brought up brought up this fear, and the therapist said, quote, that only happens if there's previous inclination. So I started thinking, okay, if this professional therapist who works with countless trans people said this, and my partner's adamant that she, meaning he, has never liked men, maybe I should just let go of this fear. Well, if I can't trust this professional gender identity therapist, who can I trust?
Boy,
Right?
they're the worst ones of all.
They're the worst ones.
That's the worst, when these nutty broads become therapists. Oy.
It's so funny. It's so funny. If I can't trust Fauci, who can I trust?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, pick the most untrustworthy person and say that. Okay. Eventually my mind kind of shifted, and I was thinking, like, okay, I don't want to be with a woman, but can I be with her? After all, she kept insisting she's still the same person. So I finally come around and accept and understand I can go on this journey with her, and I love her just the same. I tell her, and she throws me for another loop and tells me we should still separate, that she doesn't think she's still in love with me anymore. I'm devastated. This whole time I was thinking she didn't want us to divorce, and now she throws this at me. I end up moving out the day before our first wedding anniversary in September of 2014, and we separate all of our financials, and all that's left to do is divorce. But it doesn't actually happen. To make a long story short, we ended up bumping into each other randomly one day after a couple months, and we started slowly reconnecting. After a few weeks, I basically asked her one day, what do you want here? If you want a friend, I cannot be that for you right now, because I still loved her, and I couldn't just jump from marriage.
Poor woman.
I know, right? You still love this guy. Okay. We had been together a total of 7 years by this time, and I couldn't jump from that to friendship. But if she wanted to work on our marriage, then we needed to go to couples counseling. She agreed to counseling. We worked through a lot of stuff. She acknowledged how bad her behavior was, said she never wanted this to happen again because the whole experience was traumatic for her too. Explained that she didn't want to have sex before because she knew I saw her as a man. How could I have seen her differently when I didn't know?
Me.
Oh, gosh. She told me she did still love me, but she had emotionally checked out a long time ago because she thought I didn't want to stay with her, and she couldn't bounce back that fast. After a couple months of counseling, I moved back in. In February of 2015, I surprised her with a women's ring, custom made for her to wear. In 2016, we had to talk about doing a second wedding and review. Wow, if there's ever a wedding, it's been 2 years of chaos. Let's do another wedding. And renewing our vows. We started planning that, and we had the second ceremony in 2018. Everyone was so happy for us. In 2019, we bought a house that we both really loved. It seemed like everything was amazing.
Aw.
We were in love, best friends, got along so well, little conflict. She would tell me all the time how much she loved me, how happy she was with me. Okay, here we go. Then in 2022, she suddenly tells me she's thinking about death a lot. Really scared about it, and it's keeping her up at night.
They always pull the suicide card. Always.
I recommend she goes back to therapy. She does. Throughout a few months of this, she drops these weird comments like how she no longer sees the world as black and white anymore. How she doesn't hold grudges anymore. How she's
sure.
been feeling this void in life and didn't know why or what was missing. I listened to her. Hope she can work it out in therapy. Then here we go. In March of 2023, she completely blindsides me and asks to talk and tells me she thinks she's bisexual and polyamorous now.
All this sick shit goes hand in hand. That's why I hate that it's like conflated with sexual orientation.
Yes.
Like,
Okay.
you're just sick in the head.
Did you think this part was coming?
Of course. Of course.
Yes.
Did you think for a second that it wasn't?
No. And the thing about the woman writing this is, I think she's so codependent. Like, look at all this man has put you through. In the first year of your marriage, he cuts you off for months. You have no idea why you're in the dark. He's not having sex with you. He's not being physically affectionate. He tells you sex is disgusting with you. You have no idea what's going on. And then after that period of being unstable, not know what's happening, then he tells you, oh, I'm a woman now. Then he wants to stay with you. You go to counseling together. You decide to stay even though you didn't think you could. He tries to convince you to stay. As soon as you say, okay, I think I do love you and I can do this, then he says, no, we should separate. So you separate. Then you get back together. You have a second wedding, right? He tells you, by the way, oh no, I'm not attracted to men at all. I'm not. I'm not. Then he starts acting weird, talking about death. Then he's like, I think I'm bisexual and polyamorous. I want to have sex with men now.
Jesus. Oh.
Yes, ADL. This woman is like a sadomasochist. Yes.
Be careful who you marry. I think maybe part of it is like a culture that doesn't take marriage that seriously. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, you can just get divorced. Be very careful. Who, like, you know, if I get married, it's gonna be once. Like, I would be very, very careful first.
And also, it's just sort of, if a person has this many bad, these aren't like mistakes. Like a mistake is if you leave the house and forget to lock the door when you leave. That's a mistake. These are not mistakes. These are bad choices, bad behavior that he has made. He has treated you badly for long periods of time, not like lost his temper in an argument and said something insensitive. I'm talking about you're living in a state of bad behavior. And then it keeps happening, woman. It keeps happening. And he keeps dropping these bombs on you. Like when she says he completely blindsides me. How did that happen? Because he's done it before. He's blindsided you before. And by the way, I'm convicting myself right now because I was in a relationship with someone, a previous relationship, that completely blindsided me over and over and over because I was like this woman and I kept being a clueless Pollyanna night, like, oh, I forgive it all, wipe it clean, right? Right? Same.
I'm getting flashbacks.
Yeah.
I think TLDR, pay attention to red flags. You know, that's something I'm learning to do too. I'm someone who runs towards the red flags.
Yeah. Learn. You have to learn from these things. Aaron's so funny. He says he failed at being a husband and also at being a wife.
That's so true. God. Oh, I just find this so sad. Like, I feel bad for these people. Not for him. I feel bad for her. Even though, like you said, she kind of did, you know, make her bed.
She's codependent. Skillet. Hey, Skillet.
Hey, Skillet.
For $10 says, it's 11. I'm tired and this is far too confusing. I'll watch it in the morning of a coffee. Here's $10 and good night, everyone. Good night, Skillet, and thank you. And yes, this is convoluted. It's all like this, trying to figure it out. Like you need a map because they use the wrong pronouns. You almost need to draw it out on a sheet of paper to understand it.
So true what Loomis said. I love Loomis. The normalization of threatening suicide is also disturbing. Yup, that is their go-to.
Yep. Therese says, Dear Reddit, my partner and I are mentally ill. What should we do?
We have the coolest people, let me just say.
What should we? Emo trash.
Emo trash.
Read it.
Neither team wanted this man. I just got excited you have someone named Emo Trash in your chat because as someone who is a fellow emo trash.
My partner and I are mentally ill. What should we do? That's every post on Reddit.
I know. This is so great. Whew.
Okay. I'm going to continue. You guys, if you're still here, we're doing Reading Reddit. This is our inaugural episode. We're reading through the bowels of society just to see how messed up is our culture. And we're about halfway through this woman's story. Okay.
And speaking of bowels, apparently when they transition and they get the surgery and they take the and they make it a that's what it smells like.
Oh, yeah. It's bad.
So I've heard. I would not know personally. Thank God.
There's posts here, Mikey, about that where they're like, I have this terrible smell because I got the surgery and I don't know how to get rid of it. And now nobody wants to have intimate, time with me. And it's like, how can I get rid of the odor? How can I get rid of the leakage? Like all kinds of, yes. Yes. Do you think they tell kids? Do you think they tell so-called trans
No.
kids about this? No. No. Okay, so
I
then
love. Sue said, "I love being normal," and I was gonna say me too, but I'm like, God, if I'm one of the normal ones, how far we have fallen? Because I am batshit crazy.
Okay, so we're here. We pick up where this woman's husband has said. First, he cuts her off with sex, tells her sex is gross, shuts her out. Then he tells her he's a woman. Then he separates from her. Then they get back together and have a second wedding. Then, and he promises he'll never be attracted to men. Now he says he is bisexual and polyamorous and wants to explore with his two best friends who are male. The woman says, "I'm shocked, dumbfounded."
What a friend.
Yeah. "I'm shocked and dumbfounded. She never showed any hints of suddenly being into men. She spent a lot of time with these two guys, but again, she was always adamant she only liked women, even referred to herself as a lesbian all those years." She's talking about her husband, a man. "So I never really worried about it. I just thought they were very close platonic friends. I told her I'm not okay with this. It's a boundary for me. We married monogamously twice, and I need to feel like priority. On top of this, a few days prior to her telling me all this, she really hurt me because she went to this restaurant with the two of them. When we had a discussion about waiting until after vacation, she had asked if I wanted to go to this restaurant with her, and I told her I'd like to go, but we had a vacation plan and we're trying to mitigate our risk for COVID before leaving. So I said, let's wait till we get back from vacation. She said, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Makes sense. Let's wait. A few days after that, she comes home from spending time with her two friends and told me they all went to the new restaurant together. So when she reveals she has a crush on them after that incident, you could imagine how livid I was. She couldn't get immediate gratification with me, so she turned around and asked them to go with her instead. She told me that polyamory is the solution to her void.
Nope.
Here's the thing. Your void, this guy's void is God. This, my opinion, is a believer,
He
of
is the
course.
void.
He is a huge walking void. He is a dark pit. And you know why? Because you are created, my opinion, of course, but you're created by a creator. And you are longing to have a relationship with your creator. And you're trying to fill it with all this disgusting, narcissistic, me stuff like porn, being your identity. Oh, now I'm a woman, sex with my male friends. This is going to fill my void. This will no. And guess what? None of it does it? None of it ever does fill it, does it? None of that stuff ever satisfies you, does it? It's always something else.
Way, I'm just gonna grab something to drink real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. No problem. I think I clicked on the wrong button. Can you guys still see me? Okay. I think if you can't see me, I figure you'll let me know. So I'm going to continue. And then I'll summarize this part for Becky. So her husband says that polyamory is a solution to his void. He tells me it's not about sex, but of course told me that he would have sex with them if they wanted to. He says it's about she keeps calling her husband she, but I'm going to say he says it's about deepening connections with people. Well, where's his desire to deepen his connection with me, his wife? But he also said that if they rejected him, he wouldn't actively seek another partner, that it has to be a good friend first. I told him I can tell he's getting caught up in this fantasy in his head. It's exciting to him, and I'm just not going to sit at home waiting for him to spend time with me when he suddenly feels like it. This is not a great feeling. And he wouldn't apologize for the restaurant incident, even though I kept telling him how hurtful it was. Finally, after I mentioned it enough, he said, quote, "You're right. That was insensitive of me. I could have given you COVID." Like, he totally missed the main point of what he did. Then I asked him how he even landed on polyamory and how this became his solution to his void. He talked about these Chinese drama shows that he used to watch as a kid, fiction, and how the emperor had 4 wives and everyone kept telling him that he couldn't. And then he talked about the harem style anime he watches. This here, I've got to bring this point up to Mikey. This, when I mentioned earlier, like I could place a bet that this guy was watching hardcore tranny porn. I should have also added anime because I'm not saying it always leads to this, but a lot of these guys who end up sexually fetishizing cross-dressing and stuff and these autogynophiles, a lot of them watch anime like this. Hey, guess what?
Sorry
Guess what?
What?
She just revealed that her husband says where did this come from? And her husband says, well, I've been watching this harem style anime.
Gee.
Shocker.
Who could have seen that coming?
Shocker. You know who else was watching sexualized anime before deciding he was a woman? That guy on Mr. Beast who just came out and did all that press. Yeah. Mr. Beast's best friend. He was watching all this like sexualized anime as well.
Gee.
All that kind of stuff. Porn. It's porn. You're calling it harem style anime, but it's porn. It's anime porn.
And it's exactly what we've been saying, that like it's never enough. It keeps having to be the next thing. So now actual humans are not enough, and they have to go to cartoons, and then they have to go to Transformers after that.
Yes. Yes. They have to keep getting more and more taboo. I suspect, by the way, Andrew says anime is too broad a category. It is. See, I suspect, like I said at the beginning, if this were Vegas, I'd put money on it that's how he's describing it, but it's porn. I guarantee you he's watching anime porn.
Mm-hmm.
Not the broad style of, he's calling it that so his wife thinks, well, I don't know, he likes to watch, cartoons or this. No, he's watching porn. That's just how he's describing it to you.
She is a dumb fuck.
Yeah. And then he thought about the love and ethics class he took in college that talked about polyamory and how love isn't a bad thing.
Where all your problems start in college.
Yeah. College. Love isn't a bad thing. Why do we even have rules?
Oh my God.
This is, you know what this is? Hedonism and nihilism. That's what that is. Why do we even have rules? Okay. Why do we have rules about murder? Why do we have rules about, why do we think anything is bad or wrong? I hate these people who are like, they think they're so smart and philosophical. They're like, I don't believe in objective morality. I don't believe in good and evil. I don't believe anything's evil. You don't? Murder? Rape? There's nothing you think is evil objectively?
It says more about them than anything. It's very revealing.
Yes. You were right to say he is the void. Then he tells me when he started thinking about it, he didn't have anyone in mind first, and told me that his therapist even asked him about that, and he said no, he didn't have anyone in mind. And then he says, so I started thinking, who could I explore this with? I guess my two best friends. I don't know anyone else.
What?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I said to him, it sounds like you're telling me you don't have feelings for them. You just pick them in your head because you don't know anyone else. And he said, yeah. So of course I'm very confused. Ask about his contradiction later. He backtracks and says he does have feelings for them. So they go back to couples counseling. Oh. I'm going to skim. This is over. Here we go. Because I feel like he's already emotionally cheated on me. Because when he first started talking about this, rather than talking to me about it first, he then goes deeper and starts thinking about who else he would like to start dating and having relationships with while I'm still in the dark. He insisted he didn't even know if they had feelings for him or were open to polyamory, and that he knew he could lose them as friends, but said, at least I would have tried. And at least I would still have these other two friends if I'd lose them. And I'm like, holy cow, he barely even talks to those other people, and he's keeping them on the back burner just in case.
God.
Oh wait, this is the very end. Here, this is the end. Sorry. A little bit more.
It's making me so mad. I can't with these people.
He tells me he doesn't want to lose me, wants to find. So why is he keeping her on the hook? He tells me he doesn't want to lose me, wants to find something else to fill his void. But he won't let go of this fantasy of poly in his head. I should also mention he didn't really read up on it, didn't talk to any poly people, basing this all on his imagination. I asked him one day, what would you do if you have a partner that has a boundary you don't like? And he said, good question. I don't know.
I'm sure he'd totally respect them.
Right.
We talked like such a respectable gentleman.
So respectable. We talked about the lack of sex lately between. Okay, so they're back to not having sex anymore. In counseling, the therapist asked him about it, and he said he just doesn't think about sex much anymore in general. Really? Because all you're talking about is wanting to have sex with your male friends. So clearly you are thinking about it. Ugh. He says he lost interest again, but he confirmed he still has sexual attraction for me. It doesn't make sense. The couples counselor asked him why he would have sex with them because he keeps saying he would still have sex with them if they wanted. And he said, well, sex is just a part of the contract of being in a relationship. Then he says, after being monogamous for 16 years, a switch just flipped. That's what a lot of these autogynephiles say, these porn fetishists who decide they're trans. They say a switch flipped. It's like that. She goes, it's the same damn phrase again. I was transported back to 2014 again. And I was like, not this again. He has no empathy for my feelings. Just kept saying polyamory is not a bad thing. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Especially in marriage. God, it's bad enough if you're not married.
No empathy for me. One time I was crying really bad after counseling and he just rubbed my back a bit and said, I don't understand your pain, but I'm sorry for hurting you.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. Girl, fucking pack your bags and run. What do you need with this aggravation? How old did it say they are? Did it say?
I think they're in their 40s. I think they're in their 40s.
So look, it's not, it's not ideal, but it's not like you're that old. So like, God, what are you going to wait until you're in your 60s and then have to start looking for someone again?
Yeah. Yeah, this woman has wasted so many years on this guy. Look at this part. He told me that his fixation on polyamory came down to his issue with death, that he is an atheist and believes there's nothing after death.
Boom! Tell me you didn't call that shit.
Right. So if he has no memories or anything, then the only purpose of life is to experience and try everything. Everything. Right? Everything. This is what, oh my goodness, Mikey. This is
go shoot heroin, go do whatever.
Why not murder? Why not steal? Why not rape? Why not pillage? You want to try everything, right? There's nothing after death. So the purpose of life for you is just this is hedonism. This is nihilism. This is, no wonder he says he feels a void, because you are, at this point, this guy sounds to me like you are demonic. Like you are possessed. You are so empty. You just let these demons inside of you who are like, I want to try this and I want to try that and F anyone's feelings and screw my wife. Don't care about her. Don't care about anyone I hurt. Like just chasing.
Dylan, more like trying his friend's popsicles.
Why, man, Rand? I'm confused how porn does this to someone.
It's how any addiction does something to someone, I think.
Yeah. I don't think it's the porn itself. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
This guy already has a void. I'm a Christian. I think
it's the overabundance of it.
Right. I think well, no, you and I might disagree on this a bit because of my belief system, but I believe he has a void. And one of the things he's trying to address it with is porn. And the porn is leading him down this path to explore more and more taboo things to get that, because it doesn't satisfy. It's like with alcoholism. You have to drink more. It doesn't satisfy. You have to do it more often. And with the porn addictions, some people who develop these porn addictions, they keep going more and more taboo. And look what he said, even though he's already trans, he's already done all this stuff, he still fills the void. And maybe polyamory will fill, that's the thing that's going to solve this for me. No, it's not. If he opens that up and starts doing that, like, then it's going to be something else, He's going to end up like that guy in Australia that zoologist who's on trial for abusing hundreds of dogs and killing them, sexually abusing them. Yes.
See, this is something that I've been preaching about a lot on my channel. I am trying to start a movement, really, wood chipper diversity. Because I think our views on wood chippers are very limited, that we only talk about throwing pedophiles in them. I'm all for that. Great. However, I think we need to think a bit bigger about who goes in the wood chipper. Like that guy, wood chipper.
Oh, I'm with you.
This guy, wood chipper.
If you sexually abuse animals, like there's no coming back from that. You don't get rehabilitated, and you don't deserve to live in society with people anymore. Like I'm all for the law saying, you know what? We're revoking your right to associate with people. You're too sick. You're too far gone. Like God, I believe as a believer that God can forgive that if you truly repent. I believe God can forgive anything. But as far as like man and the society of man that we live in, you can't be trusted around normal people. You can't. You've revoked your license to live in society with people. I'm fine with the death penalty for that.
Same. That's what I say too about These people like this guy who just marry someone and ruin their lives and then decide, oh, I'm gay, I'm wood chipper.
I don't go that far. I know you're joking.
You're a nice. I'm not though.
You're not?
I'm not at all. You're just a nicer person than I am.
I don't go that far. But if you sexually abuse another creature, human or an animal, like whatever, you're done. Like up against the wall, they say, right? This video is going to get taken off YouTube.
Sorry.
Yeah. But I really like, as a policy position, though, I should be allowed to say on YouTube, I support the death penalty for those kind of crimes.
And I support wood chipper diversity. I was what the was I going to say? Oh yeah, I was watching some YouTuber the other day who was talking about I forget the name. It's some like trans, I think they're a YouTuber or something. And it was a man who decided he's a woman and had raped women and sexually abused all sorts of women. And it was a video exposing this person, but the guy talking about it was still calling him she. And I'm like, no. This is so very important to not do that, because when a man abuses women, you lose your right to any gender identity. It is very important to note that this is a man abusing a woman. There's no she, because there's a big difference between the two.
Well, you know what that is, and the most of the press, the media, the corrupted media, they now abide by this. Even when, like you're talking about, even when it's a man who has raped and murdered people, they will call that man she and her if he transitions in prison. Out of respect for the murderer, Mikey. Don't you get that? Out of respect for the serial rapist. Yeah, because what did that person say in the other Reddit post where yeah, everyone's owed respect to be called? No,
they're not.
You're not. Everyone is not owed respect.
Oh, and there was this other one. I don't know if you've heard of Chris Chan, but it was this man who decided, he admitted that he transitioned so he could sleep with lesbians. Transitioned. This guy raped his mother.
I remember
and
that.
All these people are not only calling him she, but we're going after people. It was this YouTube video that I had covered on my channel. We're going after people that they're transphobic for not calling him she, as if it's not a very important distinction to make when a woman is sexually abused or physically abused by a man.
Right.
The same thing happened with Ezra Miller. They were going, this is a they.
Oh, that actor?
Yeah, who was abusing women.
No, don't play the game, especially,
Never.
You don't have, like we've said already, respect is earned. And when I first meet a person, I have no idea if they're going to, it's that they've done nothing to earn it yet. I don't know anything about them yet. But if you find out something like that, like this is a person who doesn't have respect for human life or for other people, like, of course they don't deserve you calling them whatever their preferred pronoun is. Are you kidding me?
Never.
People like that swimmer, that guy, Leah Thomas. I don't know what his real name is, but I don't call him she because he has no respect for female athletes. He has no respect for women. So no, he's not deserving of your respect to call him she. Like, I refuse on that. That's my choice. So
no, same. It's mine too.
Yeah. People are asking.
Sick.
That's a rabbit hole, Chris Chan. Yeah, deep internet lore. It's a very gross story. I just know the basics about it. He was a YouTuber and he became this, or maybe was always this degenerate, and yeah, he killed his mom, and I think it just all kinds of depravity. For another day, maybe.
We should do a deep dive on that because I don't know the lore either.
Oh. Okay, can I finish this post? Because there's some very revealing things in the end. And I just think this, to me, I saved this one because I was so much like, this is my hypothesis about darkness and about falling into a pit of darkness. Everything, I know that this is just confirmation bias, right? But this seems to confirm a lot of the biases I have. So this person says he's an atheist, believes there's nothing after death. So that the purpose of life is just to experience and try everything you want to try. So when he's on his deathbed in the future, he can look back and say, at least I got to try everything I wanted to. So the wife says to him, so you're telling me you just need to try everything you want to try, regardless of the outcome, regardless of who you hurt, people you lose, bridges you burn. You just need to try for the sake of trying. And that's how you want to live your life now. And he said, yeah, I guess so.
It's
That's
unbelievable.
Yeah, he believes in nothing, doesn't care who he hurts, doesn't care. No,
Nope.
there is no, that's not a purpose of life, trying everything and hurting and not caring about people. That's not purpose. You're just filling your life up with evil. Like, that's not a purpose.
And nobody will call it that. Nobody will put it in those terms. Nobody will say this is bad, this is wrong. We just have to accept everything.
Yeah, just accept it all. Yeah, moral relativism, people in the chat are saying. It's exactly what there's no good, there's no bad. I deserve to do whatever I want.
I hope Homegirl gets the hell out of this.
Well, look at this. This is something else we could have predicted. To make a long story even shorter, after 3 months of this, I lost it. I also found out from a friend he chatted with that he referred to himself as having sociopathic thinking.
G.
You think? I'm just shocked that he was that self-aware.
Yeah, same.
And that he believes the sociopathic thinking will be good for polyamory.
I mean, I guess, that's accurate, probably. They're like
Maybe.
one and the same.
He told his friend.
Yeah, Andrew had said completely sociopathic like a second before he did.
Yes, he called it. Sociopathic. Okay, now look at this part. He then told this friend that marriage is, quote, just a contract and safety net. And if you remove that, then it's okay to bring in threats, other people. I guess he used the word threat because I'd previously said to her that I saw these two friends as a threat to our marriage.
Scumbag.
He also told his friend that he was thinking about offering money to people on Reddit to talk to him about polyamory.
See, that's the thing. This is a whole rabbit hole. This is a whole pipeline. It's not, it just, there, oh, I think I'm trying. That might be one of the earlier stages, and it will go deeper and deeper and deeper.
It just keeps going. Here's the good news at the end of this story. This woman says this was
leave him, dump him.
Finally dumped him. This was the nail in the coffin. She said, I kept trying to work on it because he kept saying that he wanted to work on things, and to rebuild trust, and didn't want to lose her, but he wasn't putting in the effort. And then he said he just can't make any promises anymore. So she wrote a long letter and read it to him about all the stuff he had done to her and devalued her and how she deserved better. And for those entire 3 months, he was adamant he was still 100% happy with me too, and that nothing was missing in our relationship. Why? Like, this guy is so delusional. And look at this thinking. He also told her one day, I know I have such a beautiful life, but what if I can imagine an even more beautiful life? Shouldn't I try for it?
Oh my God. I hope this guy gets left with nothing.
Do you know what this is, Mikey? What this makes me think of? This is the Garden of Good and Evil. This is the Garden of Eden. This is the apple where God says, you have dominion over this whole garden. I've created you in my image. You are here to cultivate this garden. You can eat from any tree in the garden except one. There's one no. The way my pastor talks about it, it's like a garden full of yeses, one no. And what does the devil do? The devil's like, why does he have a no? Why can't you have more? Yep. Why can't you have more? Like, eat the apple. That's this guy. This guy's like, I have a beautiful life with you. I love you, but what else could I have?
That's so sick. Oh my God.
So,
Justin had said, I feel the exact same way, Justin. I can't wait to see the comments because I guarantee you they're going to be chastising her.
I'm not sure, actually. I can't remember if they're mixed. I think they're mixed. Okay, let's see. So
it's so abusive too. Like, nobody will talk about this for what it is. This is just an abuser. But once you say the magic word trans, then it's like there is no such thing as abuse.
Yeah, there's no such thing as you're supposed to take it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so sick.
So they got a divorce. and the divorce will be finalized on the 21st. Okay, so the comments are. I
Oh,
think
girl,
that
good for you. Go
it's-
find yourself some hot guy who will respect you.
this person says it sounds like your spouse is a narcissist. I agree. The original poster says, "Yeah, my therapist suggested narcissism, and maybe he's borderline too." Yeah. This person says, as someone who has been polyamorous for a decade, I truly hate people like your ex.
She.
It's pretty clear he has been lying to you throughout most of this relationship. It's both selfish and cruel and childish. There are ways to transition without hurting your partner. Are there? There are ways to explore poly without hurting anyone. Really?
I don't know about that.
I'm not convinced.
No.
Look, flash forward to this person. I should save this person's profile and come back here in a year and see how the relationship's going. Their poly
Yeah,
relationship.
yup.
But I do like they're saying, that this guy's a narcissist and you should move on. Yeah, like they're not as bad as you think. Oh, people are saying, "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. What a sad story. I'm sorry you had to go through all this." So these are
Probably because a lot of maybe the people commenting have had to deal with this shit.
yeah. Yeah. Plus, I feel like this person went out of their way to prove themselves. Like, how long did she stay with this guy? Like 10 years or something after all this stuff started happening. Like, she put in all these years and 2 weddings, So maybe they were sort of like, well, she really, really did try to be validating and supportive.
Don't. That's my don't.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't. I'm so over these people. I'm so over these people. I can't. I cannot.
Do you need to shower now after all that?
Yeah, my brain needs to shower. I want to like stick a toothbrush in my ear and scrub my brain of that.
It's really
10 years down the drain. So sad.
It's really demoralizing. It's sort of not demoralizing, that's not the right word. It's disheartening to spend any time on Reddit, but it's also, like I said, maybe it's the same part of me that's interested in true crime is like trying to understand people who are peering into the darkness and they can't see that it's dark. And they like this guy, it's just sort of he just keeps going deeper into the void.
By the way, sorry, parentheses, but you just you know my brain. I'm like, oh, something shiny. True crime. I don't know anything about it, but I haven't watched it, but I'm going to. But there's this like Netflix true crimey thing about this TikTok thing, and it was a
I've
cult.
seen it.
Was it good?
Yes, it's good.
We'll
I
watch
watch all
tonight.
cult documentaries. It's
I
3
love
episodes.
cult so much.
Yeah, it is crazy, and the cult's still out there existing. Some of the people got out, some of the people are still in it. It's a TikTok dance cult. This church.
We knew that was a cult. The TikTok dance thing.
Yeah, it's a guy. It's this preacher who has been a cult leader for decades. He just keeps kind of changing the nature of the cult. And he runs a management company for dancers, some of the biggest dancers on TikTok called 7M, but he also runs a church. And they cut off all contact with their family. They live in the compound. It's crazy. You should watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it before bed tonight. That's my like bedtime viewing.
That is like true crime kind of stuff. Cult docs are very useful because they help me understand, no matter what kind of cult it is, they help me understand social justice, woke ideology better, and they help me understand what happened during the COVID years better.
Mm-hmm. And they only understand alphabet people better.
Yes.
As much as I don't want to.
Yes.
Yeah, I love cults. I love murder. I love it all.
It's just about, I don't know, it's about trying to understand the nature of evil, I think, and how people go down such a wrong path. And usually, if you look at true statistics on who watches and reads true crime stories, it's more women than men on average. So usually, when I talk to a guy like yourself who's interested in true crime, it's like, oh, refreshing, because you know all the cases I'm talking about usually.
I love it.
Why is I can always usually count on most women to know all the cases I'm talking about.
Yeah, women love true crime. My friend Jenny that I live with loves. There's this case that she's been watching the court stuff every day, and he was just sentenced. I forget the name, but it was like he killed his wife and daughter, I think, something like that. It was in Florida too.
There's so many of those. I'm not
There's so many of
sure.
those. So I'm just like, where's the asteroid?
Okay, I want to end on one that's not as depraved, but it's funny to see them trying to think, the woke. So here we go. This one is in a forum called Moral Dilemmas.
Oh boy, I'm gonna take a wild guess that there's a lack of morals on there.
No. This one's different. Now, this is the woke trying to think through their position on something, and you can see them struggling because they kind of are there. I think it is our human nature to try and be intellectually consistent, but woke being a cult, it changes, it messes with all your wiring, and it wires you differently so that you're not intellectually consistent. And so you can see them struggling with this question. Here's the question. Is it okay for a person to change their race through plastic surgery and medication? Okay, right? Because this cult says you can change your sex, right? They say it's okay to do so, and they say you can do so.
Well,
Right?
they say you can't change your race though, but they never have a reason why.
Yeah. So this person asked, in some cultures, there are people who have procedures to make their parents look like that of another race or to remove or
What?
lessen more prominent racial traits. Well, like in Korea, for example,
Yeah,
there's
like
a
skin
lot of
bleaching.
they get the eyelid surgery to make their eyes look more Caucasian. And they also a lot of times will get different kinds of nose jobs and stuff to
Oh,
make
Julie
themselves look.
Chen had that. Have you ever seen Julie Chen?
Mm-mm.
Oh, look at her before. She looked like fucking Miss Swan.
Julie Chen, who is she?
She hosts that show Big Brother, which that's a whole other mess.
She had the eyelid one.
You gotta see the before and after. Oof.
Oh yeah, she got the nose done. You can tell. Yeah, this is pretty common, I think, in Korea. Also had a friend who got this done.
Oof.
Oh, sorry, there it is. Yeah, she got the nose and the eyelids. She got the eyelids done too.
Kids, I mean, they did a good job.
Yeah, it's to have that more of like a Western or Caucasian look. Okay, so these comments are going to be interesting. So this person's asking, is it okay to change your race through plastic surgery and medication? And they say, is it morally okay to change your racial traits to that of another race? And if yes, at what point does it become immoral or frowned upon? Now, I just want to point something out here. I've told you on this channel several times, social justice and woke ideology is a religion. It functions like a religion, like a religious cult. It is a belief system. And these people who are in it, they think of it as a moral code. And so it's not weird that they're asking if it's morally okay, because everything having to do with race and sex and sexuality and identity, it's all of this is in their wheelhouse. They think all this stuff these are all issues of morality, race and sex, right?
By the way, parentheses, so I love Loomis. I always know all my nerdy little obscure things. Do you remember that show, The Swan?
Yes. Plastic surgery
It would
show.
be from the early 2000s that they would give these people extreme plastic surgery and then they'd have to compete in a beauty pageant with it. It would be really interesting to do a stream watching that today.
Oh, yes. Mystery Chris and I did an episode on reality TV a few weeks ago. It was like, oh my gosh, it was just trash. So much of it was trash. I bet you watched some of the shows we were making fun of.
Oh, for sure. I've been wanting to do forever. I'm gonna start doing it, but I've been wanting to do like a video series on Celebrity Apprentice.
Oh my goodness. Do you like that show?
Oh, that show, it is a work of art. It belongs in a museum. It is, oh my God. It's incredible. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm curious to see, what do we think these woke people are going to say? Now, it's a little divided because you can see them
Real?
struggling to answer.
They're going to say no, but they're not going to have any reason, really. There's not a blanket answer.
There's not a blanket answer for this question because the reasons why a person, so they think it matters why the person, why.
It's
Simil-
complicated.
They say it's a cultural question, not a moral one. So there seems to be a lot of pressure on Asian women to get the double eyelid surgery to adhere to beauty standards, and it's believed that Jackie Chan got the same surgery in order to be more palatable to Western audiences.
Oh.
While not involving surgery that I'm aware of, Rachel Dolezal has been heavily and consistently lambasted for passing as a Black woman and taking a position in the NAACP. Without digging too much into it, it seems like, listen to this, it seems like it's acceptable for a minority, a person of color, to emulate the majority. So it's okay for an Asian person to get surgery to look white, but it's not okay for a white person to try and look Black. That's what they're saying. That it seems like it's more acceptable for a minority to emulate the majority than for a member of the majority to emulate the minority. This is them looking at their own belief system and trying to understand it. Like, it's like everyone attacked Rachel Dolezal, but they don't attack Asian people who get the white people surgery. Why not? They're trying to understand why. What are the rules in this belief system, right?
Yep.
What
are the spoilers?
I don't know what that.
I think you hover your mouse over it. I've only seen that for like movie spoilers.
Oh, there's probably a trigger warning. Okay. This is interesting. I don't think one could truly change their race even if there were no barriers. Ethnicity is more than just physical appearances. Really? But
gender is not.
Yeah, biological sex, though, you think they could change it, right? They could truly change it. Interesting. This person says, I don't know. In the case if I do meet a transracial person, all I can think about is how much they must have liked or obsessed about that race to cross both the physical and cultural hurdles. Really? Do you think maybe a man who says he's a woman obsessed about women before he crossed that hurdle?
That's so sick.
Well, at the same time, I would question if they hated their original race to begin with. Really? Do you wonder if they question their original biological sex? I just wonder if they were having healthy thoughts. Really? Because that's what we wonder.
Ask the transes what healthy thoughts they have. It's like the Joker. All I have are negative thoughts.
Right. Really? Now, if you said this, Mike, if they said this on the trans forum about
they'd be banned.
They'd be banned immediately. They'd be banned.
That's so fucking nuts.
Yeah, Aaron says now we know why it was blacked out.
Yes. Aaron is funny.
Look at this. I think little changes here and there inspired by the races does not equate to changing one's race. Not really. They mostly still look like their race. Wow. What about biological sex? What about when you change your biological sex? Don't they still mostly look like that swimmer, Leah Thomas? Does he look, doesn't he still mostly look like his real sex? Yes. And look at this. I think it's the difference between a white guy getting dreadlocks versus a white guy who grew up in a suburb speaking hood to his homies he met from school while randomly flailing his fingers and calling it gang signs. What? What's the difference there?
What? Oh my god. Speaking hood to the homies.
Now, this person didn't get banned. I'm shocked. Look at this.
Wow.
If it's okay for a man to change to a woman and a woman to change to a man, it has to be okay to change your race. Ooh.
What's the reply?
Oh, they
know
don't
what I mean?
Know what I mean? They don't know they don't know what he means.
Yeah, why not?
Look at this person, also not banned. Yeah, why not? Race like gender,
Wow.
I've been told, is a social construct. If one can be at the whim of the user, then the other can as well. Anyone who gatekeeps your race is a bigot.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh.
We always knew it's going to go there eventually where they say that people say they're trans race and stuff. We've always known it's going to go there. But it's going to be really funny when it starts going there because they're all going to fight they're going to have a civil war in woke over whether or not you can be trans race. They're going to fight each other.
Oh, I love this. I mean, this ideology has more holes in it than a damn slice of Swiss cheese.
Yeah. Transracism sounds logical to me.
This is amazing.
Now look at this one. I don't know. Like, I could see why it would be offensive for, say, a white person to get surgery to become a black person.
White people.
I can see why they don't have that right. White people don't have the right, okay? White people, different rules.
Got the right.
Different rules. And woke, you treat people differently based on what race they are. And that's what this person's doing. They're saying, if it's a white person, it's wrong.
If it's a white person, everything you do is wrong.
Everything you do is wrong. Look at this. On the other hand, it's their body. And if we assume the surgery's effects are permanent, they'll have to live with the consequences of that decision. Oh, really? What about when you change your sex? Are the surgery's effects, are they going to have to permanently, is that, or is it, you guys say it's reversible, right? This is funny. Oh my goodness. I felt, what is this person based and they just haven't been banned yet? Just tell people you identify as whatever race and insist they refer to you that way, or you'll accuse them of having a phobia and being full of hate.
Yes.
If the soft bullying doesn't work, try forming an online mob and see if you can get that person fired from their job and hounded out of society for not bending the knee to your transracialism. It should be easy since you've already gotten all the corporations and the government groveling to transracialists and their baying lackeys. I want to follow this person.
That's awesome. Oh my god, I love that.
Okay, while we talk about this, can someone please tell me why this isn't okay, but a biological man saying he's a woman and taking a scholarship meant for a woman is okay? Genuinely wanted to know the thought process because I've only talked to a few people about it and they were angry and insulted me and avoided it. I don't believe they could give me an answer. Look at this. Facts, my dude. It makes zero sense. Race is a lot more blurry and a social construct than sex, a biological reality. This is another based person. Look at this. What scholarships are you talking about? I've never heard of it.
Oh, of course you haven't. The problem has been rectified.
Yeah, this is BS. This person says there's still a few non-competitive scholarships in sports that allow it. There's plenty that allow it. There are men breaking.
The Olympics allows it.
The Olympics allows it, yeah. You're right.
Yes.
Look at this based person.
Cost the boss.
You can do whatever you want. You're in clown world now.
Oh, I love this.
As long as you say, I'm living my truth, you're good. It's like a magic spell that overrides objective reality. If they get shitty with you, accuse them of something like dead racing you. You know,
oh, that's amazing.
Something that makes you the victim of their mislabeling. That's really the key. Just make sure to let everyone know as loudly and intrusively as possible that they are wrong for not immediately accepting your delusion. That way they'll be so busy trying to avoid your shrieking that they'll forget what they were originally upset at you about.
Oh,
this is so
amazing. How the fuck did we get here? You're a racist for asking. Oh, this is great.
Look at this. I find myself asking any reason why it would be immoral. It's not dissimilar to changing one's gender, which I would argue is much more significant than changing one's race. This is just kind of I think
We're
it's
all
starting to
Michael
happen.
Jackson now.
Yeah. I think this is going to be one of the new frontiers in woke is transracialism. Okay.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so.
Look at this one though. This person disagrees. Look, in my opinion, racial transition would be immoral because it is one, a dishonesty with oneself that can arrest or regress personal development, and also because it's two, disrespectful to the people whose race should not be boiled down to an aesthetic style choice. Well, but what about sex? What about changing biological sex?
From human to mutant. I mean, that's kind of it's happening across the board.
See, I think some of these are young people and they don't understand why there's a double standard. They're like, I don't see why not. 2024 has established a new normalcy of identifying however you want. If people are able to change their gender, I don't see why you can't do the same with your race. How's it immoral? That's their business. Okay. We're done there.
Oh my god, these people are making my brain bleed. Reddit is a scary place.
Well, at least there were some like crypto-based people in
Yeah.
that.
They
in
used to
that
have
forum.
they used to have a Reddit community that was like gay conservatives. I was like the mayor of that and it got taken down.
They get rid of forums that are conservative. I'm
Yeah.
shocked. Maybe the people are like
Oh,
skating
this was
by.
years ago.
In the moral dilemmas forum, there's people skating by, like all the secretly based people are in there.
Maybe
We're
that's
just
like
us.
the
Yeah.
down low meeting place.
Yeah. Because the purpose of the forum is to present with dilemmas, you know.
Jesus. I'm
That's
so
the
sick
purpose.
of these people. I'm not going to make it through the rest of June. I'm so sick of these people.
I know we did that episode already on Pride, but
Doing at the end of the month to recap it all.
yeah. In a nutshell, though, can you just tell me? Because I tell you, I've been going hard about Pride this month, and I've had more people than ever on the left come out. Most of them on Facebook come at me in DMs like, "What's wrong with you? Why are you so homophobic?"
Send them my way. Send them my way. Ooh, they're like, let me just add my friend Mike to this chat. I'll put them in their place.
They don't know anyone like you. I even offered to one of my former leftist friends. He's a documentary filmmaker. I was like, "Hey, do you not know any gay and trans people who hate Pride and who agree with me that it doesn't have anything to do with not really with identity? It's using identity as a vector to spread Marxism. Like that's what it is now. You don't know anyone like that?" He didn't write back. So
and
it's like,
don't forget in 2020, and I guarantee you the number will go up in 2024. 30% of gay people voted Republican. That is not some tiny minority. If you think proportionally about any minority group in America, I believe Black people are something like 12% of the population. So gay people who are conservative or just vote conservative are a higher proportion than any minority group is to the entire country. That's not some little fringe.
that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. And I guarantee you that number is going to go up this time because, yeah, I think I've seen more people agreeing who aren't even necessarily political agreeing with all this more than ever. Ooh, by the way, I decided I've never done this before. June 22nd, I'm going to St. Pete, which is apparently a very liberal area here in Florida. I'm going to go to the Pride Parade and interview people.
Wow.
Which, by the way, if anyone is in Florida and St. Pete, come. I'm going to try to get a big group to go with. So yeah, come hang out.
That was one of the best things I think we did was when you and I hung out with Billboard Chris, Dangerous
Yes.
Rhetoric, and Alex Stein, and we went to Gay Pride in New York, and we had some of Billboard Chris's. He gave us all billboards to wear. And we were doing conversations with people, and it was really sort of it's one thing to share your opinion online, which we all do, but it's another thing to try and get used to doing it in person and doing it in a really hostile environment, I might add, because a lot of these people were yelling at us, yelling at you.
Remember the guy.
Yeah. The straight guy was yelling at Mikey. A straight guy was yelling at Mikey and calling Mikey a homophobe.
His face when I said I was gay. I think of a meme. Aw, Erica, I think you're adorable.
Oh.
Oh, she's hot too. You have a very attractive audience, let me tell you.
Oh, full of compliments tonight. Okay, we should end on a funny one that has nothing to do with depravity. This is truly the last one we're gonna do. There's also some funny stuff on there. As I've started, as I said, reading more of these forums and trying to understand what's happening in the world, there are some that I genuinely like that don't cause me discomfort. And there's this one forum called Band Names, and people just post requests for puns, and I love puns. And so they'll come up with these hard requests. So here we go. Here's one called give me a name for a band that plays goth metal, but all the members are nurses. Okay. Look at the answers.
Nursey dancing.
Corn, RN. The RN is capitalized. The Sisters of Nursey.
Nurse-talica.
Nurse-talica. Stool sample.
Bedpan at the disco.
Bedpan at the disco.
Ratchet and the Clanks.
Syringe of a down. Night
certified noose.
Damned enema.
Death metal, that's amazing.
Death metal on arrival. Hammers of hospice.
I like that. Motley Scrubs.
Motley Scrubs. Nightmare Nurses. Some are puns, some are originals. The Filipinos.
That's so random.
Well, because a lot of Filipinos are nurses. Did you know that?
God. No, I didn't know that. I thought that was just like out of nowhere.
No, it's like that's almost like in Los Angeles, it was like a large portion of Filipinos went into nursing. Stitch Knot, Vitalica.
That's better.
Midwife Crisis.
That's great.
Okay, you can have lots of fun in the band names.
I love that,
and that's good, innocent fun most of the time. Good, innocent pun fun.
I love the relationship advice one. We should read some of those on Thursday.
Let's do it. By the way, thank you for coming by the inaugural episode of Reading Reddit.
Yay, I'm honored.
Next time you come back, we'll have a theme song. And you guys, it's been a treat getting to hang out with one of my best friends tonight and hang out with you guys. I love you, Mikey.
and I miss you. You got to come to Florida. You got to come visit, you and Anthony.
Oh, I do have to get down to Florida. Money's really tight right now because we're renovating, but for travel. But yeah, we're definitely going to get there at some point.
Yes, come stay with us.
So I just want to say thank you to the chat too. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thanks for letting me try a new show. I've been thinking about doing this for a while. I want to have different people come on and we just read Reddit and see, thanks for coming along for the ride. If this show isn't your bag because it's too disgusting, I completely get it. Like, not everyone likes true crime. Not everyone likes looking into the pit. And you have to be really careful when you look into the pit also. Because what's that Nietzsche quote? Beware of fighting monsters.
Back at you.
You stare into the abyss stares back at you. You have to be really careful looking at this stuff. So it's not for everyone. I get it.
I love it though. I love being able to be a judgmental little bitch.
I'm just, like I said, I feel like more and more I'm a church lady stereotype. I go like, you need Jesus. What's wrong with you?
Though. They do though. Oh my God.
And there's no one in your life, and there's certainly no one on Reddit to pull you aside and say, hey, and give you real truth. They're all like, I'm validating. I'm going to validate.
No, they're preoccupied with my truth.
Yeah. Your truth.
These. This is so much fun, though. Your chat's amazing, by the way, as always.
Aw. Hey.
You guys have to come hang out on Thursday on my channel.
Thursday, we're going to be on Mike Harlow's channel, 8 o'clock Central. And I missed 2 of these super chats, so thank you. Unit 731 for $2 says, I'm MAGA, make asylums great again.
I love it.
And G-Man for $5 says, Keri, you said my avatars keep getting more perverted on your last stream, but this is just a picture of me on my porch. My pillow still isn't dry. Oh, because you cried? Did I say they were getting more perverted? were they getting more perverted? If they weren't, and I was wrong, then I apologize. I
That's great.
can't remember what was in your. I can't remember what was in your avatar last time. I'm sorry, dude.
That's amazing.
Thank you for the super chat. I know you tend to G-man though. You like to punk me in chat a little bit. And that's like fine. I like pranks. So I just took it. I'm sure I took it as you were pranking me. Emo Trash says it costs $0 to follow Christ. So if nothing else, that's the one thing that is affordable in this economy. And you're exactly right. I love that. It's $0. All these people chasing all this stuff. I'm like, just why haven't you tried Jesus?
I love it.
Do you know that song, Mikey?
Is that a song?
Yes.
No.
Can we go out on the song?
Ooh, yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. This is a little Larry Norman from the 70s. This is my jam lately. I put this on in my truck and drive around blasting it. I wonder what you're going to think of this.
Ooh, that is some lovely flowing locks.
You sipping whiskey from a paper cup. You drown your sorrows till you can't stand up. But take a look at what you've done to yourself. Why don't you put the bottle back on the shelf? Yellow fingers from the cigarettes.
I like it.
Why your body sweats.
Why
Why
don't you
don't
look
you
at
look into
Jesus?
Jesus?
He got
He's
the
got the
answers.
answer.
I gotta pause it for just a second so we don't get a copy. We're probably gonna get copyright strike, but I have to play this next verse because Mikey, if you've never heard someone sing the lyric "Gonorrhea on Valentine's Day," you're about to hear it.
Woo!
You got gonorrhea on Valentine's Day. You're still looking for the perfect leg. You think rock and roll will set you free? You'd be dead before
Oh,
you're
you're
33.
33.
You
This is
should
very prescient.
till you're half insane. A broken needle in your purple vein. Why don't you look into Jesus? He's got the answer.
This song does go hard.
You sleep
Isn't it good?
Oh my god, this is amazing. Ah,
You'll be dead before you're 33. Why
love
don't you
that.
look into Jesus? Okay. It's so cheesy, but I love it. I don't
love
care
it. It's so good.
because it's true. Also,
It's very relevant.
Thank you, Mikey. I love you. Have a
I
good
love you
night.
so much.
I'll see you. You guys follow Mike Harlow. His channel's linked below. I'm going to be hanging out with him on Thursday night. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with us for this first episode of Reading Reddit.
I'm so excited for Thursday. I'm trying to it's like the first time in a pretty long time that I kind of have some free time, so I'm trying to like throw myself into making new videos and doing a lot of shows. So I'm streaming twice a week now and gonna have some new videos. I think around the 15th, my new video. I haven't made a video in a year, but my new video is coming out. Everything wrong with gay people.
Just in time for Pride Month.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna be for the first time filming my own video at Pride in St. Pete. So
I
yeah, if
love
anyone's around St. Pete, June 22nd, come hang out with us.
Let him know.
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll
bye,
get a whole
guys.
squad. Love you, Keri.
I love you. We'll see
Mwah.
you guys on Thursday on Mikey's channel. Take care.
Welcome to Costco. I love you. Welcome to Costco. I love you.